Welcome back to Pax Mithdosica. Um, I'm so used to being like, oh, it's been a week or something, but we're here on time. It's been a normal length of time, and I'm gonna give. Actually, I'll offer up. Does anyone else want to give a summary of what happened last time, since it's been relatively recently?
Yeah. So last time
Yeah, last
week even.
last week even.
We fought the Guardian.
Yeah, we fought the Thong Golem. So
Yep.
we after Zednius and Corvus dimension door to the other side, the Thong Golem awakened. And that immediately initiated combat. We rolled for initiative, and most of the session was that combat. It was incredibly close. Corvus died. Zednius and Grania, I believe, were both on 0 HP and stabilized by death saving throws, just about. And Maximus and Premiers were probably one hit away from dying. But
Yeah.
with the last of their attacks, they finished. Premier and the Clutch Smite, Premiers managed to finish it off and revivify Corvus. After which, the whole Fey influence of the whole place seemed to vanish, and we left the town without talking to anybody. We left the town, went to the previous town where we had our horses waiting for us. We sent a letter to the head of judges asking for guidance as to how to proceed, and then decided we're going to see a religious official to tell them about the heresy here, and ask them about the piece of cloth, so that we could possibly scry on the Green Rider, presumably, and they let us use it. And I attempted to use it, and as I did, I remembered, didn't I hear that this guy's immune to scrying? And
Yes.
I
then
found out after you tried. Yeah. We knew about it, we just forgot about it until after you tried.
Yeah. And then I realized this guy isn't immune to scrying. If I scry on this guy, there's a good chance he's like making me go insane or something. Because something, when I scry to him, something tried to like reach out and fuck with me real bad. And I wasn't okay with it. And now we're kind of thinking how we proceed. We're probably just gonna go for this. There was this magus, this mage. I forgot her name.
That's fine. Yeah, Arcanist Genticia.
Genticia, yes.
Yeah.
And that's our next point of investigation.
Yeah.
Which is going to lead us to some of us familiar town.
Yeah, Lubel. Yeah, so I think that's very good. Yeah, we bid farewell to Maximus. He got basically emergency reassigned, which has never really happened before. There's some weird stuff about that, signed by both the Master of Judges and a Consul of the Empire, and who knows when he'll be back. Said he was going to Kujva, which is where the Imperial Legions of the Plains are mustering to fight the Son of the Dragon.
Is that where Rixion went?
It is, yeah. It's also where Father Hyperion, Mother Dulcion. There's like at least
Something
7
crazy's going on
NPCs
there.
that you guys know of that are with the legions there. Yeah.
Something wacky's happening.
Yeah, they've also all, at least Father Rixion and Maximus are both there for the exact same reason, which is, what do you call it? Warrior lodges. But, so it's October 1st, and we are still in the city of Patricia, formerly raided by the Tebrashans, and we kind of need to determine where we want to go next. Our current major lead is, of course, Lubel, but I do want to give you guys the opportunity if there's something else you'd like to do before we head out.
I need to do two important things.
Yeah.
One of which is go back to where we're stationed and talk to the head of judges. And the other is go talk to go to the capital and talk to the head of the family.
Well, explain why you need to do these things to the party.
Well, I want to give the head of judges an update on how things are going in person, because I think I owe him that respect. And I also want to get bankrolled and have access to the Verusian funds. So I'm going to go hang out with Aurelian Soul for a bit.
I thought you could get your appointment earliest in like a few years.
That's through prayer, but I'm like one of 100 people that just get to go up to him and be like, "Hey, dog, how you doing?"
Yeah, that's how I go up to God all the time. Yeah, very normal.
Why now? What is the pressing need for the funds now?
I'd like money. And
But why right away? Isn't
Yeah,
it,
like what
shouldn't we focus
changed?
on our mission?
Well, you know, the whole other frontliner leaving, I think I'd like to press an advantage on trying to get things that will make me not die.
What you're saying is he's scared
Well-
and you need a break.
As long as you dedicate some of those funds to diamonds, I mean,
What I'm saying is
assume you
it's
would,
gonna be
right?
hard being the healer / melee main tank / DPS / etc.
Well, you signed up for this job. Nobody forced you to become a judge.
I'm gonna pretend you didn't say that.
Well, what do you propose that the other judges do while you're on a little ride about? Because if you want to go to Nauseus and then the Imperial capital, we're talking like minimum like 12 days to do all of that and get back to where you are now.
12 days. Riding to Nauseus is that much?
Nauseus is as far from Patricia as the capital is from where you currently are.
Holy.
So you'd be moving in a big old triangle.
Well, I guess I'll just ride to the capital and then send Cato a letter.
Well, that would raise the original question, which is what do you want the other... If you're going to be off in the capital trying to secure funding for the party, what are those three going to be doing for the next however long? Are you taking them with you?
I mean, yeah, you guys can join me. I'm not saying, like, no. If you guys come to the capital.
Alternatively, is there something you guys think you could be doing that is more valuable to your time while you wait for Premius?
Is there like a downtime activity to gain XP somehow?
No,
So I really want to level up.
there is not.
I mean, if we do a
unfortunately.
side quest, if we did what we did before in the bank heist, if we did something at that level, we'd get XP.
True. Let's do a bank heist.
I guess I need to research more into my dream and see if I can figure out where that mound is.
Okay. So does that
But
mean...
I don't know.
I mean, it sounds like you could stay here in Patricia and start going through the library.
I could stay here in library for the geology of the region and
Sure.
maps.
Corvus, what about you? You could go to the capital, you could stay here. You
What
basically
about
just have
my-
another week off.
What about my friends and contacts?
Actually,
They haven't reached out to you, but if you went to the city of Salernum, which is actually not that far from where you are now, you could talk to, I believe, your uncle. Check in with him.
Yeah, I think that would be the best.
I think he's your uncle. I'm like 80% sure he's your uncle.
I believe so.
I would like to. I changed my mind because I could do the research anywhere. I'd like to go with Premius and do it sort of on the side.
Yeah, all right. Head to the Imperial capital, and then Grania. What about you? You want to take a trip to the Imperial capital to secure some money for the party?
He's okay with just going along for the ride, sure.
Okay. So then the party will meet back up in Patricia. Corvus will go on a little side thingy to Salernum, and the rest of you will head to Mythos. We'll start with the group headed to Mythos. So, bringing us to the world map, you're currently in the city of Patricia, which is one of the westernmost of the plain cities. Western, even more so than Nauseus. And so to get to Mythos from where you are is, I believe, going to be, let's see, yeah, about a 3 days ride on horseback. So after summoning your steed outside the city walls, Primius, the three of you begin the journey westward. It's a bit nerve-wracking. You've only met the Emperor once before. Like every other member of the party, was when you received your official, promotion to judge. With the exception of Grania, because she had somewhat special circumstances. But Primius, Corvus,
Technically, I had it
Zednius.
twice.
Twice. What was the second time?
When I got
When I
revived.
died.
Oh, well, I guess. Kind
Yeah,
of.
that's why I said technically.
Yeah, he didn't quite look like a guy in that particular vision. More like a giant ball of fire, but yeah, something like that. But yeah, it'll be a 3-day ride, and honestly, a pretty uneventful one. Unlike, the Northern Kingdoms where we roll encounter checks, or like any other part of the world, really, the Mythosian Empire, especially its core provinces, are pretty safe these days. The Plains provinces, that's different. But Cismontar, Salaria, Cisatlia, Mythasia, these are all safe provinces. So that's just going to be minus 3 days. The only question I have is if we want to start burning through ration stockpiles, or if we would like to basically just like encamp in people's houses and eat their food and such as Imperial judges, because we're entitled to do that. Both as like, that still follows our edict as well.
Did Maximus take all the rations with him?
Most of it, I believe, yeah.
I have 20 of them, so I could just.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to. I have rations too, but I needed to know if I needed to be the one to share or not.
Okay. I mean, it is free to just force people to feed you, but...
Yeah, I'll just do that.
Okay. Alrighty. You travel westward, encamp at the homes of those willing to put up judges of the Empire, and eat their food and their drink and such. And after a 3-day journey, you arrive in the capital. The Mythosian capital, especially for Grania, but even more so for all of you that are there, is the most impressive city in the world. Somewhat undeniably so. And every time you see it, you are reminded of that fact. Great golden domes, bureaucratic palaces the size of the palaces of emperors and kings, vast marble and stone causeways. However, you're not headed to any of the great departments today. You're headed to a unique type of complex that Zednius, you've only been there once, and Grania, you've never been there, which is the Imperial Palace Complex. It is huge, vast. It's bigger than the Department of War plus the Department of Coin, which are the two biggest Great Department buildings. And are you, Primius, do you intend to take Zednius and Grania with you to get your audience with the Emperor, or...
No, not that particular part, no.
Okay, then I'd like to cut to a scene, which is, there's this long, it's called the Capitoline Way that leads to the Imperial Complex. And as you get on this, white brick road leading to the Imperial Complex, Grania and Zednius have been following you this whole way, and you sort of pull your horse to a stop, and how do you say temporary farewell?
This is where we part ways for now. I'll meet you back up here, and how does tomorrow at lunch sound?
Rania just looks towards Zednius.
Oh no, I'm muted. Is he going in like a restricted area?
It's not restricted, it's just that he's headed up to the Imperial Complex, and neither of you are as close to the Emperor biologically as he is.
Okay. I don't ever know how much the Perusian or Verusian gets me.
You're a part of the Imperial family, technically.
But I can't go where he's going because he's the Perusian or something.
You could follow him. It is unlikely you would be able to, at will, have a personal meeting with the Emperor, though.
Okay. And he's not inviting me to do it, so... I'll nod my head. See you there.
Alrighty. Well, we'll follow Primius for now, and we'll cut back to you two later, see what you were up to. You make your way along the Capitoline Way to the Imperial Complex, and soon enough you are joined by throngs of other people. You got pilgrims, you got locals, you got bureaucrats, functionaries, mostly pilgrims though, because this is the holiest of holies. There are churches in the Empire that are considered, less hallowed ground than the Imperial Complex, because this is the home of God. And as you get past a large gate, an Imperial Guard, approaches, and despite your judge's badge, informs you that your horse will have to be led to the temporary great stables of the Imperial complex. And it's not much of a thing. You just surrender your horse's reins. You can sense its location at all times anyways. You're not particularly worried about it. And eventually, you find yourself waiting in that morning's line, not by choice, just by kind of getting pushed forward by the tide of people. Ahead of you, there are about 500 or 600 people waiting in line that are being serviced by 4 separate lanes of bureaucrats. Despite being, in the deepest of the deep within the holiest site of all of the Aurelian soul worship, Mithdosica still has its bureaucracy. So do you intend to wait until this 500, 600 person line ahead of you has been serviced?
Well, are there signs for each of the lines?
All 4 lines seem to be serving those people that are coming. They seem to all be servicing this just glut of people.
Okay, and
yeah.
You said there's 600 people ahead of me?
Yeah.
How fast does the line seem like it's going? Not at all?
They seem to move in batches of 20 every 30 minutes or so.
Is it just these lines, or is it like...
It is a massive complex.
Yeah,
So you're in a massive courtyard behind you, which is filled with Imperial Guards, about 50 of them that control the flow of people. And they basically push all people. Like, every single person you see is all the pilgrims, functionaries, foreign diplomats are all being sort of narrowed into this pathway.
Is there a guard that, doesn't seem to be, incredibly busy with, navigating people?
Most of them aren't busy. They're just standing off to the sides, forming, a physical barrier. They're basically, living, barricades.
Okay. Is this what is it? What are those guys in Britain? Kind of deal, or?
Well, in the sense that they actually kill people and do their jobs, yeah. They're less ceremonial, more so like the most trained soldiers of the Empire.
Oh, yeah, I meant the Queen's Guard, that's what...
Yeah, they're like that, but not ceremonial. They actually do the job.
So is this if I go up to one of them and try to talk to them, he just won't respond?
That would seem likely, yes.
Okay. And the only people who seem like they're willing to give a word are these people who...
The 4 dedicated bureaucrats, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I have a respect for the bureaucracy, so I'll wait in line.
Okay. You watch as in a mere moment of bureaucracy, your entire morning, afternoon, and early evening evaporate. By about 1 p.m., as there's been about a couple hundred people admitted, they go through in batches of 20 and then exit moments later, 10, 20 minutes later, dazzled and wowed, mostly pilgrims, who are marked by the clothing they're wearing, because pilgrims wear ascetic outfits, meaning as little, scratchy cloth that's meant to make the journey uncomfortable, because, it's about the journey, not the destination. And eventually, at about 1 p.m., they start rejecting people. You notice that batches of people are being sent away with only... specifically, mostly pilgrims are being sent away. But eventually, you can get to the front of the line. The person on the other side wears an outfit you've never seen before. You vaguely remember it the last time you were here in the palace, but you're not sure what it represents. And then, just as you're about to open your mouth, a small part of you remembers etiquette from when you were being raised. This is the Imperial household. It's kind of a great department unto itself, and it represents the 5,000 servants who toil day in and day out to service the Imperial complex. They wear, white clothing with gold trim, and this functionary will look at you and say, "Welcome to the Imperial complex of the Emperor Aurelian Invictus Sol. How can I help you?"
I'm responding to a letter by Aurelian Victus Sol, considering access to the family fund.
Do you have the letter?
Yeah, I will hand over the letter.
Do you have a letter? What letter are you talking about, man?
What is it? The letter that was sent to me of why I couldn't access the funds?
That letter, what letter?
That's what was given to me.
Give me the handout. I don't know what you're referring to, because you were told by a person at a bank that that's true, and then you learned about the Edict of Patricia that made this imperial law.
Oh, right, the Edict of Patricia. That's what I meant to say.
Well, then the clerk will raise an eyebrow. I can't say I'm familiar with that specific legislation in all of its details. Do you have a more specific request?
As a member of the royal family, I would like to speak to my relative.
What is your
Aurelius
name?
Pistol. Firmius Cosius Tiberius Perusian Perusian.
I see. And have you received your updated Imperial Seal?
I don't know if that was off screen or if that was something we would have gone over.
You don't have either of those. It wasn't off screen, and you don't have one. You've not received an updated Imperial Seal.
Go license for that, mate.
I do not.
I see. Well then, you'll join the last group of pilgrims today, and a member of our staff will speak with you once they're available. And he'll gesture towards a line where you can see about 15 other very nervous pilgrims and a single, what looks to be Tibrashan boyar with who has he looks like a vacationer basically. Like he's got his little toga on over his clothing. He's he looks like a dad visiting Disneyland.
Oh, dude, ew. I meant about the Tibrashan part, not the dad dude fitting Disneyland.
Yeah, you walk over to the group. The pilgrims all remain silent, hands cupped in prayer, raggedy outfits scratching and making them uncomfortable. The Tibrashan guy will look over at you and he'll say in kind of broken mythos, "Hey, what is going, man?"
I will give him a death stare.
He'll say, my bad, friend, my bad. And he'll just look around the room and just kind of mumbles to himself in Tibrashan and be like, wow, very nice. And after
we got Borat here.
Dude, that's just what Tibrashans sound like to Mithdosians. Y'all are prejudiced.
Very nice.
And so
You're
about
a paladin, yes?
so about 3 more pilgrims will join your group until Imperial guards will begin to guide you. Following the path laid out for you by the harsh brows of Imperial guards, you walk down the corridor and recognize the path that you are walking. It is the same path you walked when becoming an Imperial judge, the path to the Great Hall of the Emperor. For many pilgrims, this is the holiest place in the world. The smell of incense fills your nostrils, and the humming of monks fills the hall. Then ahead of you, the line is slowing down. As it slows, an Imperial guard shouts, "Keep the pace!" and the procession continues forward. Somehow, you feel you're in the wrong line, because these pilgrims are going to have just a moment to glance upon the holiest of all sights as they're, pushed forward. And for you, it just isn't, it's just not like that. You're just not the same. You've come for a different purpose. But eventually, you exit this small hallway that you've been pushed into, and the ceiling above you pitches upward, and you find yourself in a grand vaulted chamber. It is so large that it makes you feel small, and vertigo washes through you. During your confirmation as judge, the Emperor sat upon his throne. You couldn't even meet his eyes. He said little during that ceremony. One of his attendants gave you your judge's badge, and an ecclesiarch recited a blessing from the Emperor to you. Today, this vast hall, which could fit 20,000 people, more than the mightiest churches in the world, has no emperor. The throne, so grand, looks tiny in comparison to the immensity of the chamber. Stained glass taller than the domes of some cathedrals stretches along the walls. It depicts the 4 great saints and the 2 previous emperors, each in their great moments of greatest triumph. You understand why the line slowed. The incense is thick in the air here, making a foggy haze. The feeling of sanctity in your heart is full, and you feel your connection to Aurelian soul stronger than ever. Then, because this constant movement of the crowd, you've exited the hall. That moment of feeling connected to a divine power beyond yourself seems to fade a bit, and the pilgrims that you are with, who were in silence before, are now in mute silence at the power and majesty of that chamber. The pilgrims' procession was only in the Great Hall for 80 feet, maybe less than a minute, and a couple of them cast out offerings onto the marble floor of the Great Hall. And just as you exit the Great Hall, you feel a hand on your shoulder. It belongs to an Imperial guard who gestures you towards a narrow stone door just off the main path.
I will nod and go towards the door.
Yeah, you do hear a voice come from the horde of pilgrims. "Where are you taking him? Is he okay?" And then you you don't hear the follow-up to that conversation because the stone door closes behind you. And the Imperial Guard, who initially put his hand on your shoulder, will guide you through a very narrow tunnel. These tunnels are tiny. They're 5 feet across, basically. So you're like compressed in these tunnels. They're also dark. The only source of light coming from the Imperial Guards themselves, who all have some, like the two with you, have some sort of glowing armament. One of them has a glowing ring. The other has a glowing sword at their, waist. And they guide you down these tunnels in a seemingly random direction. You could never navigate back to how you entered these tunnels. And then eventually, they lead you to an iron door. One of them opens up the iron door, and inside you can see a mage and a cleric. The mage is saying, well, that's the thing about chariot racing. I mean, it's a really talent-based sport. I mean, you saw the blue team? I'd put all my money in there. I mean, last week's match, it's absurd. And the mage glances over and sees you and says, oh, do we have to do this one now? I thought we were done for today. And the Imperial Guard that was guiding you kind of shrugs. And the mage says, all right. Well, sit down over there, please. And he looks back at the cleric and keeps saying, anyway, so I put down 50 gold on the blue team. Yeah, it was a pretty good deal. I got a good tip, but then, guess what? Their axle broke 3/4 of the way through the race. Can you believe it? And the cleric, chuckles a little bit. And the cleric will glance over and wait for you to sit across from them inside this small stone room.
Yeah, I will listen and sit down.
The cleric will look at you, and then he'll look back at the mage and say, well, we should wrap this up quickly so you can get to the racing track on time. And the mage shrugs, and the two of them sit down in their chairs proper. The two Imperial Guards that guided you to the room take up a post on either side of you in the table, and you realize this is an interrogation chamber. The mage will cast a spell. His eyes will start to glow, and the light in the room seems to dim a little bit. And the cleric will also cast a spell, and you need to make a charisma saving throw. Would you like to fail it?
I assume this is Zone of Truth.
I'm not going to tell you, but you can choose to fail it if you want.
No, I won't.
Okay, make a charisma saving throw.
No, I meant I will.
Okay.
I thought you meant, would you like to roll it? And I was like, no, I won't.
Okay, you choose to fail. The cleric will look at you in the eyes, and their previous joking demeanor between friends seems to disappear entirely. The cleric says, are you Primius Cosius Tiberius Perusian Verusian?
I am.
Is your father Cosius, former legate?
Yes.
Is your family deceased in various accidents, leaving you alone in this world?
Yes.
He shrugs and looks at the mage. Seems to check out. And the mage will look you up and down. He looks at one of the guardsmen. Do the usual procedure. This time you just need to do face and hands. The rest looks fine. And the guard that originally brought you here will grab your cheek, pretty aggressively, and tug on it. Not like a gentle, I'm poking your face, but he pulls on your cheek pretty hard. It hurts. And then he lets go, and he looks at the mage. The mage shakes his head, and the Imperial Guard kind of mumbles under his breath, I'm sorry, Your Majesty. I'll need to pinch your hand as well.
I'll nod.
And he pinches your hand really fucking hard. Really hard. Your skin turns white. Your hand is red the moment his fingers withdraw. But the mage gives a nod and says, looks good to me too. And they'll pull out a piece of paperwork, which both of them, start to jot entries down onto, and then double signatures at the bottom. One of the Imperial Guards come over and stamps it with a silver seal. They roll up the scroll and they hand it over to you.
Is this a scroll of pedigree, updated?
Would you like to roll out the form and read it?
Yeah.
It is labeled Internal Imperial Bureaucracy Document XZ17. You have no fucking idea what this is.
What is this?
The mage will nod and say, oh, it's just a temporary confirmation of your identity until you get your new Imperial seal. It should be enough to get you the... Well, I don't know why you're here in the palace, but to get you there, you'll need to get your official seal, though.
When will that be sent?
I don't know. It's outside of my pay grade. I just confirmed who you are. And the Imperial Guard who first guided you says, well, Your Majesty will now take you to meet with the Emperor.
Thank you.
And the mage and the cleric will go back to talking, and the mage will say, I'm thinking about putting down 100 gold today, because I heard this betting strategy. Every time you lose, you double your previous bet. And you head back out into the narrow stone corridors as the Imperial Guard guides you. The second guard that was with you is gone. Now that your identity's confirmed, everyone gets a lot nicer to you. Significantly nicer, even. The Imperial Guard even gives you a slight smile.
Put down.
Yeah, true. And then the Imperial Guard will guide you through these narrow sections of tunnels.
I mean, it is pretty sus, like, walking out with a bunch of pilgrims being like, dude, I'm totally Imperial family. Look at my eyes, guys.
Well, they know you're one now, so. And he will guide you through this labyrinthine corridor. And as he walks to a section of tunnel that looks literally identical to every other section you've seen so far, he seems to stop. He puts his arm through the wall, his arm passes through it, and then he, moves his body, so he's like halfway through the wall, halfway still in the hallway, and he uses his hand that's still in the hallway to like gesture you to go through the wall.
I'll go through.
You step through the illusionary wall, and you begin to blink rapidly at the changing light conditions. It's incredibly bright in here, but most importantly, it's incredibly reflective. Every surface has gold, gems, jewels, or marble. It is a sitting room, 3 couches circular in the center, and a special lounge chair. The edge of the room is flanked by 10 Imperial guards and 2 Imperial battle wizards. Based on their stripes and the fineness of their robes, they look like exceedingly powerful arcanists. In front of the guards is a throng of servants, some 16 spread around the chamber. Wine holders, cup holders, cloak holders, fetchers, messengers, and more. Then, in the inner circle, around the couches, are 2 more servants. They have a way that they stand that makes you immediately recognize these as bodyguards of a different type. They may be dressed like servants, but these seem to be like the final line of defense for the people sitting on those couches. And speaking of those couches, there are 4 people seated on them. Each of them you only know based on their clothing, because again, your father really hammered in the etiquette of the Imperial household, and you recognize these as the 4 great officers of the Imperial household, the closest confidants and loyal servants of the Emperor. The Imperial Chamberlain, the Imperial Steward, the Imperial Sealsman, and the Imperial Comptroller. You don't know any of their names, you don't recognize their faces, but you know what their function is. And then lastly, your eyes move, but once again, you can't lift them above the floor. You merely see purple robes with a white blanket with golden lace. The form of God reclines on a chair. You cannot bear to look upon him. You cannot bear to speak even. Your throat is tight. Premius, Cosius, Tiberius, Perusian, Verusian. His voice is powerful, fitting for the vessel of a god. Despite his mortal flesh being 94 years of age, it does not sound it. You wish to respond, but your body will not let you interrupt the holy silence. Your father was a good man, and a lover of his country. It is a tragedy what happened to him. I'm sorry. He was my adoptive grandnephew. It's a shame that we met on few occasions. I'm glad to see you've come here following the Edict of Patricia. Admittedly, I was not all that familiar with you until Lucius told me about you. Your service is exemplary, and your faith is inscrutable. If you have been inconvenienced by coming here, I extend an apology. This edict was primarily meant for the delinquents of our lineage, not for hard workers such as yourself. But since you are here, is there something I can provide you with?
Does my throat loosen?
It takes a little bit. The silence begins to drag on a little bit. And then, your options are embarrass yourself before the Almighty himself or speak in the presence of the Almighty himself, both of which feel a little bit sacrilegious, but the uncomfortableness of not speaking is a little bit worse. So, yeah, your throat loosens slightly.
How would I address Aurelian Soul? Would I call him
I'm going to leave
like
it up
my
to you.
or...
This gets real complicated. Are you going to treat him like a mortal man or like your living god or both? I don't know. It's up to you, man.
My lord, I've come to request access to the family account.
Ah, well, the Imperial Comptroller can deal with that. And I'm sure you'll hear nothing more of it. Is there anything else?
That is all. I dare not take up more of your time.
Well then. Go help him, Galerius. And one of the men seated on the couch will stand up, and he'll, walk out one of the doors of the room. It takes you a moment for your body to just naturally start following him. And as you turn around to leave the room, you recognize that God may not have glowing eyes. He may not be floating above the ground with ethereal skin. He may not be a powerful spellcaster like, the Al-Serenian God King. But his presence is undeniable. When you have your back turned to him, you know exactly where he is in the room. And your connection to Aurelian's soul feels like a burning tendon in your chest. It's the strongest it has ever felt. It's much like your previous time spent with the Emperor, in the sense that it is beyond description. But the moment you exit the room and the door closes behind you and you are now within the Imperial apartments, that level of connection and understanding his presence and understanding where he is all seems to, lessen quite a bit with just a door between you. And by the time that you followed the Imperial Comptroller to his very, very fine office, it's as if you're just in any office in the Empire. He'll sit down at his chair and say, "Alrighty, well, based on what the Emperor said, I've pulled up your family records. I'm sorry for the loss, by the way, of your father. He was a wonderful legate of the Empire and a good servant."
Thank you for your condolences.
Of course, we will get your accounts lifted immediately. Could I see your Imperial identification as a member of the Imperial household?
I will hand them the scroll.
Yeah, the comptroller will take a look at it. Oh, we'll have to get you a permanent one issued. So I'll have my office do that. You need not do anything for your accounts to be lifted. I'll make sure to get this sent over to the Great Department of Coin as soon as possible. Is there any other things you need in terms of paperwork so that we can deal with it now?
In terms of paperwork, what
Yes.
does he mean by this?
He means that what that question is?
Yeah.
That's what he means. I don't know. If you have nothing, you have nothing.
Oh. No, that is all.
He'll nod. Well, if you have any problems with your accounts remaining locked, we've had one problem with that with a member of the family in Regia, then feel free to reach out to my office. One of my assistants will make sure that the Department of Coin loosens up your money. Ideally, though, it should already be done by the end of the day. If you'll remain here, I'll have one of my assistants come in and get you your permanent Imperial identification. I recommend that you store it in a permanent place, such as the Great Vaults of the Department of Coin. Carrying one around on your person is deemed unadvisable. If someone uses your identification in a way that is harmful to the Empire, that is a high crime. I think that's all that's to be said for that. If you'll just remain in here, I'll have one of my assistants come in and provide you with that paperwork. It may take a little bit to fill out all the requisite pieces of paper.
Understood.
And he stands up, and a sort of subconscious breath, like this nervousness that's been pent up the entire time you've been here, finally relaxes. You're inside of an Imperial office filling out paperwork. All is right in the world. You're no longer, fighting for this really hard, reality of, oh my god, I'm meeting with God. So it's a lot chiller now. Yeah, it's a lot chiller now. Eventually, a young man will come in. Despite being relatively young, you're pretty sure he has to be absurdly high position to be here within the Imperial household. And he'll come in, help you out, fill out some paperwork. It's a lot of questions about your past and stuff. After the Edict of Patricia, the Emperor, in his eternal wisdom, decided that he did not have a good enough accounting of who was even a part of the Imperial family anymore. It had gotten too big. And so instead, now he wants to know exactly what his entire family's up to. So you have to fill out a bunch of paperwork on that. But eventually you are issued with a long document. Scroll of Pedigree kind of, though, a scroll of pedigree of a nobleman just kind of says, this is my name, this is what I've done, and this is who I'm the vassal of. This document is lengthy. It says basically birth to death, who you are, what your current job in the Empire is, your exact genealogy tracking you back to the first Emperor, and anyone in your family that had notable service to the Empire. It's like the Bible of Primius, basically. It is a very long scroll, unwieldy to carry around, and weighs about 8 pounds by the time you and him are done. It's night outside by the time you're done. But he'll give that over to you. He will also shred, or basically tear apart, the temporary document that you had. And he will guide you to an Imperial guard who will exit you from the Imperial Palace through a side entrance through that, maze of tunnels. And by about 7:30 in the evening, you are standing outside of the Imperial complex. Your horse has been returned to you, and your trip and brief visit with the Emperor is over.
Wow.
Yeah, you saw him for about 30 seconds.
That's 30 seconds. One of the best 30 seconds of my life.
So where are you going to store this?
Don't take that out of context. I know Melipaz is watching.
Best 30 seconds of my life. So where are you going to store
That's
this
what she said.
Imperial document?
Like they said, the Department of Coin. I don't know if they're open.
Do you already have an account in the Department of Coin?
I believe I do, but if not, that's the first thing I will do is open one.
I mean, marked on your character sheet. I'm sure you do, but
Marked on my character sheet? I don't think I do.
okay, you should make that then. Add it like a feature and be like, shit, in the vault of the Department of Coin. Add that.
Okay.
Because if you ever want to get into the Imperial Palace again, you need that.
Yeah, I recommend making a bank account tracker as well on the right side.
That would
And, like,
probably
the
be wise as well.
resources.
Oh yeah, so you can go to the Great Department of Coin. The answer is yes, they're open. Great Department of Coin is one of two great departments that's open most hours of the day. Them and the Department of War. And you can meet with a clerk. And despite, the comptroller hedging quite significantly, you have no problem accessing the Verusian accounts. So you personally can withdraw up to $1.2 million this month.
Wow.
How much gold is that? 1,200?
1,200. Yeah.
Yeah, 1,200 then.
Yeah,
Damn.
1,200.
Nice.
Oh, and then the way you should mark this down, the document, the way you should mark it is proof
Blank
of
out of-
Imperial familial connection.
Oh, okay.
So how much money would you like to withdraw?
Well, it's not like just a one and done thing. I could come back here and I could go and plan with Zednius and Grania and decide what
Correct.
we think is good to buy. So I don't have to buy a bunch of things.
But is that like a monthly stipend? How often does that 2 million come back, or is it
1.2
2 million
every month?
flat, or 1. Oh, okay.
Though, keep in mind that, if you max out your thing every single month, if there's another Edict of Patricia, that may come up when the Emperor, somebody's looking at his records being like, damn, this guy spends a lot of money. But, yeah.
It says you have spent 1,200 this month on hookers. What does that mean?
So in the last year, you spent $1 billion just buying diamonds?
What do you mean by this? All right. So
Do you want to cover Yogi and
I do, yeah.
Dota stuff a bit?
I was just about to do that. So Zednius and Grania, when you part with Primius, you have a day to do as you wish. What are we up to?
I think I might. So do we know how much did we get out of Maximus leaving? Do we know a lot, or?
Whatever he
he
told
was
you.
like,
I think he
just
just
gotta go.
told you he had orders reassigning him. Temporarily.
Okay. I want to find out more about that area, so I think I would go to the Department of War.
If you want to know about the military operations there, yeah. Wait, what's your
What if I
relationship
want
like?
to
know-
ride?
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your relationship like with the Department of War right now? Never mind. No, they're not letting you in. Not letting you into the records
Wait.
office
Why
anyways.
Why are they mad at us? Why did they get
I actually
mad
don't
at us?
remember, but I'm gonna trust my markers here.
I'm pretty sure this was just part of us.
Oh, probably the coup
Being
in the
moved
south, and you never
around?
recovered from it. I mean, I know that really pissed them off when you launched a coup against the Southern Legions, and maybe you just
no,
never
I
were
think
able
we
to.
recovered since because of the whole Gala Isle stuff.
Maybe it
I
was.
think the civility thing screwed us over. I don't know. Did the
I think
Department of
so.
Civility piss them off?
Yeah,
I feel like everyone's
diametrically
disfavored
opposed.
because the Department of Civility.
Yeah, that's probably true. So yeah, you will not be able to. I mean, they cannot. If you want to make it like a big stick, you could technically press it because you're an imperial judge. But
no, I will just go to the library. I think, or
okay.
Is that a good area or a university to talk with a professor of shit?
What type of information are you looking for? Are you looking like historical information on what's in Kujva?
Yes. Yeah. I want to.
Okay, then yeah, you can just find that in a library.
Okay.
Sure. Roll me an int check, and you can take advantage because
I
Granny
took
is
the ring
tagging
off.
along. Okay, sure.
Okay, and I need to say this, but I also intend to say it when it starts to happen. I'm gonna have the ring off until I think we're gonna be in combat most of the time.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Or maybe like the day before.
I mean, it takes a free item interaction to put on, so might as well, you know.
Well, you also said that I don't get the HP, so I feel like I'd have to do it maybe the day before a big combat and heal up.
Yeah, because you get the max HP, not the current HP. Okay. And check at advantage.
Let me check at advantage. I gotta take off the minus. Ooh.
So with Garania's assistance, you begin to read through historical documents, recent documents, basically everything you can about the city of Kujva. It is the capital city of the Principality of Kujvasko. It is, long, 100 years ago, it was the second most powerful principality in what was the Mizdagov Empire, the Empire of the Plains. What other information would you like to know about it?
How old does the history go back?
Of the current city or inhabitation of that area of the world?
Habitation of that area of the world.
At least to the Shattering. Before the Shattering, there is no recorded history of, it gets really hard to track locations, post and pre-Shattering, because it's just hard, because the world got so fucked and, everything got fucked up, so it's hard to even say where this location was. But up until just after the Shattering, there is records of human inhabitation there. It was previously a part of the Great Feywood, and it is rumored to have once been a part of the, have a Dorvish outpost there, from the Dorvish Empire 3,000 years ago. But the current city is, there's no Feywood anywhere near it. No Dorvish.
And is the Shattering a big event where there's hardly any prehistory before that? We just think that's when the elves were, or
no? There's lots of prehistory before that. It's just that it's old shit. I'm trying to think of Eastern Valoros equivalent. If you guys played in Western Valor, it should be easier because the Apep Empire is a pre-Shattering human empire. The Shattering happened 1,200 years ago and split the world in half, and the elves are 3,000 years before that. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the dwarves are 2,000 years before that.
This mound out in the middle of the plains somewhere. I feel like the Lord of Ink stuff is pre-history. I feel like
likely yes.
Shattering, all of that. Yeah.
Well, that is the problem with prehistory. There's not many books written on it.
Exactly. So I guess look up the geology of the area. Is it all going to be super similar, or is
so the Tabrashan Plains?
Were there specific reeds of grass that only show up in a specific area, kind of thing?
Kind of, yeah. So the Tabrashan Plains has a very general trend, which is the westernmost areas are actually lightly wooded, and the easternmost areas are hilly. And that kind of holds true for the whole plain. So the areas that are owned by Mythdosia, Transpontar Solaria, Cispontar Solaria, are deeply fertile regions. Lots of trees, lots of agriculture, especially the coast, like Nasius. Then the east, places like Marienburg, Melopolski, Zakopomorski, these have hills and shitty soil. That is the general trend. Some additional trends are that to the north, you'd expect to see evergreens where there are trees. In your vision, you saw no trees, so that's a slight indication. And I think that especially with Grania's help, she's shockingly useful here because she's not a studied herbalist. She just knows what plants look like, and she can be oh, I point at an image and sign, oh, I've seen this, something like that. And you can largely narrow it down to, and we'll pull. Are we still in the world map? No, we're not. I'll pull us back to the world map. It's probably in the south. It's probably south of the lake. Because the north, just the things you're reading don't make sense. So I'm going to draw a big red line. I'm going to delete this later, so you may want to, I don't know, mentally note this or something.
And just so we know, my story to Grania isn't, hey, help me look up an ancient demon location. It's more of, let me figure out this geology of the area where we think Maximus is going, because if things keep heating up, we're probably going to get sent there next.
That red line is where you suspect it could be located. Right along the edges of the lake, or largely in the southern areas of Slasky, Lubelski, Kuzhvasko, and Estatic.
And which area did you say you were from, Grania? Were you from, like, one of these Lubel-like areas?
Where is it?
I feel like you said you were on the
so
plains.
if we mark it on the map, it is way up here. It's that tiny little village.
Oh, it's not even close. Not even
it's that
close.
tiny little village completely isolated from everything.
Okay. Is down here, is this stuff Deadwood, or is this just
That
Feywood?
is Great Feywood.
Okay, because Deadwood is only on the little peninsula. over
Correct,
here.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Actually, I should
Can
be
we
a bit
think
more broad with
Maximus-
this red square because it would also include parts of Malopolsky. But generally, it's just going to be right along the edge of the river or the southern principality. So it's going to be something like, I don't know, something like that. There you go. That's a bit more
And
accurate.
we think Maximus got sent to, like, this area.
No, he's sent to Kuzhva, that city right here.
Oh, down here. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
So I've got a little bit better of an idea after today's research.
Perfect. The following day, you guys can go meet up with Primius outside of the on the pathway to the Imperial Complex for lunch. Primius, what's your demeanor?
He's pretty happy. He feels pretty content. He had a pretty wild day last night.
Wild day
Or
last night.
Yesterday, yeah.
Oh, I'll also say that Zednius might have been a little bit nervous that Primius was going to just straight up tell God that I'm bad or something, but being alive right now means he probably
Yeah, you
didn't.
weren't smited.
So it's good to see you, Primius. Did you get any good news?
Yes. I got to talk to the man himself. And we now have access to 1.2 million pence a month.
A month.
A month.
Oh. Oh. Wow. I'm gonna look up your armor up and down. Are you like in good armor, or like
No,
are there some
nothing's
obvious
changed.
upgrades?
No.
Are there? Well, I don't know what you were wearing before.
I'm wearing exactly what I was wearing before.
He's asking what you're wearing before.
I don't know.
Oh, just standard, like, leather armor.
Okay. I'll like
Breastplate?
start like
Or like
pulling
full dicks?
bits. I'll start
That's
like,
my Heko.
if you don't like slap my hand away, I'm gonna start like picking at the leather and like, I think it's time for us to go shopping. Get you some upgrades.
What do you mean by this?
Well, you don't like getting harmed, do you? This leather, it's not the best protection money can buy.
I think you're forgetting we're competing with the Department of War in these purchasing of magical items.
I didn't say magic, just studded leather, hydra leather.
Yes, the Department of War will have some money to say about that.
I'm sorry, you have 1.2 million per month.
Yeah,
Surely you could you just by some sort of honor code you're unwilling to overpay for a little bit to get. I mean, we might die out there, Primius.
Due to the Edict of Patricia, it required me to meet with Aurelian Soul before I had access to this fund. Now, if there were to be another one, that would most definitely come up if I were to make a mistake on and misspend this money. So
I'm not saying spend 1 million pence on one set of armor. I'm saying, how much is a set of studded leather armor about?
That
15
shit's
gold.
that shit's so cheap.
Yeah, and I'm so disconnected. 15 gold is way above what I would. How much does a gallon of milk cost? $10.
Yeah. So
Um,
true. So true.
Surely we could pay 25. It's a drop in the bucket. I'm not saying spend 1 million. I'm saying let's make sure we come back in one piece.
this is true. I'd rather be alive to have a conversation than dead and not.
And it's not like this is an every month purchase either.
There's no harm in window shopping. I will give you that.
Great. And did we only have one diamond?
We
We
do.
might want to get a couple
That-
more.
Yeah, that is one thing I was very keen on, is getting another diamond just in case.
How many revivifies do you have?
Spell
For
slots, I have 3. But I do want to keep some of them for obliterating the unholy. I do have
Sure,
other
but
level
let's-
3 spell slots. I got a new spell recently too. That might be nice.
But it wouldn't hurt to have 3 diamonds, no? Just in case.
This is true. But wouldn't it be crazy if one of us died every week? That'd be crazy, wouldn't it?
Been a trend so
Yes.
That's true. It's been on that trend for a while now. I'm pretty sure 3 people died in 1 month.
Yeah, I think it's more than that, but yeah, because I think Severus technically died last month as well.
Oh right, Severus died.
Severus, Maximus has died.
Corvus,
and Corvus has
Corvus
died.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
and-
Yeah, it's 3.
Yeah, 3.
And if the saving
that
throws
is-
had gone a bit differently, it would have been Zednius too,
Yeah.
or Granium. Okay, how many diamonds we buying?
Unless Primius pushes back, I'm going to say 2.
Reasonable. It's enough for the whole party.
Yeah.
Okay. You need to track this in whatever method you want. In fact, what you should do, add a resource to your sheet, mark it as 1200, and then just reduce that number, and it will reset on the 1st of every month. So set that number down to 600, and you can add 2 more diamonds to your sheet.
Where is that?
I will do it.
Below the lay on hands stuff.
Yeah, basically just click
Yeah,
the
it
plus
should be by
sign
your
and then do
wrists.
Imperial Stipend, and then set the number to 1200, and then we'll set that number to 600 now, and then you can add 2 diamonds to your sheet. You know what's kind of interesting while you're doing that? The Department of Faith is one of the only organizations that can't actually price gouge, because if they price gouge, it actually changes like the fundamental underlying magic, because it always has to be a 300 GP diamond, which is a monetary fixed price rather than like, you know, the size of the diamond or something.
Have they tried to like
Yeah, this came up in
artificially enhance-
yeah,
like
this
like
came
a
up in our
tiny
other
speck
campaign.
of diamond can do revivify because they price gouge it so much. But
Kind
they
of,
hoard
yeah.
all of the diamonds.
So this came up in Broken Bones and Bodies because Yarrow kept like looking into it, and the answer is there is such a thing as the invisible hand of the market, and is recognized by how magic functions. The average global price of a commodity impacts the usage of spell components. Anyways,
But I'm asking if they created like an artificial scarcity. they
well,
start
they'd have to make a
selling off
global artificial
diamond
scarcity, but then yeah,
fragments?
probably.
Okay.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Why not?
New campaign. Greedy
the scarcity guild.
Is there a magic store that I'm able to walk
Magic
The
stores are
Department
not
of
things.
Magic.
There's the Department of Magic though.
You can rent. You could rent magic items as long as the Department of War hasn't already snapped them up. I tried earlier.
I'll walk in there, see.
And notably, you're also at the Great Department of Magic, so you get access to every list of every Department of Magic in the Empire.
And I'm there as a Fabricia, so we get treated a little bit nicer than
Yeah.
Primius would on his own.
So the three of you, because Grania is still here, silently shadowing you like a ghoul or a zombie or a specter, the three of you enter into the Department of Magic. Grania is actually probably the most familiar with this building because she had her little research arc for like a week or maybe 2 weeks or something. She was here for a while.
Is this where me and Renesmee almost got obliterated? Where was the evil Necromortis woman?
That was here, yeah.
Okay.
Same building. So the three of you head into the Great Department of Magic. You head over to the clerk's office and you ask for access to the list of magical items. Prometheus, the ledger you gaze upon looks like a murder scene. Every single line is crossed out with red ink. Sold, 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 sold. Buyer, Department of War, 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 Department of War. And then you see Department of Civility, Department of War, Department of War, Department of War, Department of War. And there are, in this one ledger you're looking at, over 400 magical items over the last 4 years listed. There are 2 that are still being bid upon.
Those being?
There is a teleport scroll that is currently being sold for 24,000 gold pieces. And a item named Stormbreaker, which is a magical warhammer of Dwarvish origin that is currently bid up to about 52,000 gold.
Wasn't that one of Ethan's character's hammers, or is that a different hammer I'm thinking?
That is correct, yes.
How did...
Let's fucking go!
How did they
Ethan's
get
not
it?
even here for the Ethan reference! He's fucking
Wait, how did
everywhere!
DM.
He's thinking. Yogi's trying to compute.
I played a campaign with him. He was.
Well, no. He's trying to compute a specific thing because he's met this character in another campaign before. Well,
Yeah.
Yogi, this is where I can tell you, Pax is now ahead of Broken Bones and Bodies.
I met him in.
Well, we had the thing in Broken Bones. I had one of my characters had that item.
Correct. Yes, and still
so-
does. Rush has an item that he calls Stormbreaker. Yeah.
Oh. But Pax is ahead.
By about a day. Yeah.
So he doesn't have it.
By 1 day.
Wait,
Are we
so are there
officially
2
the
Stormbreakers
farthest ahead
then?
in the
That's
timeline? by
a
one
fascinating.
day?
That's a fascinating question, Yogi. Who knows? Anyways, and yes, Yogi, yes, Blake, we're now at the forefront of the
Besides
campaign.
Rush's
fucking
off-camera
go!
rules.
Yeah, we're at
Let's
the
fucking
forefront of
go!
Valoros. Anyways, but yeah, those are the 2 items on sale. The 24,000
Can I
GP
get
teleport
poggers in the
scroll.
Chat, please. Poggers in the chat.
Don't use him like that. don't use him to. Don't farm chowder for emotes.
You know what? Thank you for the 3 gifted
Mods,
subs.
post
no,
emotes.
Stop! No, stop!
What do you mean
Dude,
stop?
no,
What do you mean stop?
no,
What did I do that was wrong?
Anyways,
Mods farming for emotes.
no. Okay, so yeah, those are the 2 items listed, and the 24,000 GP teleport scroll should be familiar because that's also something that Maximus is selling.
Maximus is selling this.
Yeah, he and the party got a teleport scroll, and they're selling it, and it's currently being bid at 24,000 gold pieces by the Department of War.
Oh, that's Maximus.
Maximus, his character, Maximus, yeah.
Yeah, that's his teleport. Could you
Yes.
imagine if I bought it?
It would be very funny, but you can't, you're broke. So yeah,
That's
then this is the first ledger
27,000
you look into, and you end up getting a total of, how many would that be? I think 14, 1 for each Imperial province. Let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 11 because of Gala Isle, 12 because of Scotia, and then 13, 14 because of Lubelski and Kuzhvaska. So there are 14 ledgers here. You end up looking through all of them, and you cannot find an item that is under 600 gold. That has not, already been bought.
Well, I'm not spending the rest of that money because I don't want to max it out.
Makes
There's
sense.
also nothing to spend it on. There's nothing under 600 gold. Also, you do notice that in, I think it was June, July. Whenever the raid on, whenever the Edict of Patricia, July. Whenever the Edict of Patricia was passed, within like 5 days, the Department of War bought almost every single magical item listed. Because they got a lot of money.
Yeah. Like I said, we were competing with the Department of War.
But you could buy more
maybe
traditional
worth a try.
things. Arcane ink, spell scrolls, those are sold directly by the Department of Magic here at the Great Department.
What about The armor upgrade I was referencing for.
Hydra studded leather armor is not magical. It's just a material, so you could just buy that on the open market.
Really?
Yeah, it's not. There's just nothing magical about it. It's just
Even though it's like +1 technically.
yeah, same as mithril armor. It's not magical. It's just a material.
How much would it
But
be?
does it limit your dex boost? That's a
No.
issue we have to care
No,
about, right?
no.
Okay.
Studded leather doesn't do that.
Yeah. So Hydra studded leather armor. That is a great question. I believe. Oh man. So I know a player did sell this, named Hecko. He sold the
Yeah.
set of
Well, did I-
extra studded leather, Hydra studded, and I think he sold it for.
Did he sell it? We
He did.
had.
You had tons.
We burned Severus's.
Yeah,
No,
but
it
I had
wasn't what he
another
was wearing.
set
You
I
guys had
think
a ton.
Lars
You-
was wearing.
You killed a entire Hydra. You had lots of extra.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Fuck. I think it was like. Oh no. I know how to find this information. I just don't know if I want to go search through the archives. My gut instinct says it's 300 gold, but that may be overvaluing what he actually got paid for it. Though to be fair, he also gave them the raw material, not the finished product. So I think it is 300 gold. Let me see if I can find it. Let me look in my notes because I need to know whatever I gave Severus.
Also, when we're on the topic,
Yeah.
Premiers, you might want to grab like a shield or offhand made of mithril.
True. Your offhand weapon does like no damage anyways.
This is true.
Though the price did reset, so that shit's expensive now. It's 50 gold a pound.
Yeah, a shield could be really big. Mithril
Okay.
shield.
I can't find the note at this point, so I'm just gonna have to trust my very flawed recollection, which is gonna be 300 gold for a suit of Hydra studded leather armor.
Mithril shield could also be dank because you can have your holy symbol embedded onto it, and then you can basically cast with that.
Yeah, but I'm a dual wielding paladin.
Checkmate. Did
yeah.
you consider that?
What's your
So-
offhand weapon? Could we improve that to like a mithril dagger? Or
It's a what is it? It's just a
What did he do
regular
with-
rapier.
What did he do with Severus?
we could get a mithril rapier.
Are they all
It is
gone?
2 pounds, so that would be 1 pound of mithril,
Correct.
Yeah,
which
those
is
are
you said
expensive.
50 gold.
50 gold.
Yeah, that's like super affordable.
You know, pay 50 gold for a rapier.
The mind rot, the trust fund mind rot. That's only 50 grand. That's like nothing.
I mean, let's be real. We make quite a bit on our missions.
God, that's so funny. Yeah, no, for sure. Okay, so Blake, if you want both those things, you can subtract 350, so you have 250 left, and you get Hydra studded leather armor, so it's +1, and then mithril rapier, so reduce
So
the
I
weight by
have
half and +1.
150 left, or 50?
250 left.
Alright.
Bro said he didn't
Uh,
want to spend his whole stipend, spent it in one afternoon. Do you want me to adjust the things on your sheet to be correct real quick?
Yeah,
Okay,
you
I'm
know
just gonna
the
do that super
intricacies of
fast.
doing that.
Shmeep, 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 shmeep. Also, if someone wants to, I don't know who would want to do this, but if you want to go double check however much Severus got paid for selling the suit of studded leather armor, it happened like during the arc where they, just before Gela Isle, and I think it was 300 gold, but if it's a different number, I will reimburse
Yeah, it
Permeus
was just
for however
before
much it
last
actually
left.
sold for. Yeah, I remember exactly when it was. Okay, it's all fixed now. Blake. Okay, you're good. You're locked in.
Is the flame tongue not a? No, that doesn't give an addition to the weapon's attack, does it? I was wondering if
Let
the
me
flame
check.
tongue was a +1 weapon.
No,
But-
Let me check
I
that.
don't think so.
it is not. Okay, cool. Anything else you want to do in the city? With Zinnius and Guania? Want to buy them a nice
No,
dinner or
but
something?
Well, how much would that cost?
We would not track it?
Yeah,
So it's going to
we'll
be
go to
less than a
nice-
gold?
Yeah, we'll go. We'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's not that
Additionally, as you guys make your way out to a very fine dining establishment that you once had food with your family, with your father, shortly before his death, you guys hear big news from the plains. It took a couple days to reach the Empire, because it's not actually that big news. In the city-state, a coup has been launched. The details are sparse. The general story you get is that 3,000 people are died, parts of the city has been burned down, the Overlord is okay. The consensus seems to be that the coup failed, the government's still in charge, and, I don't know, some detail about the Grand Vizier changing. Basically, chaos in the city-state is the big headline from the criers and the broadsheets. And that's about it.
Peaky Blinders moment.
What?
Oh.
I'm not going to analyze that further. Okay, so you guys have a very nice dinner. Grania and Zednius, is there anything else you guys would like to do in the Imperial capital before we move on?
Nope.
Alrighty.
How many days has it been since I checked in on old Eldritch Knight?
Couple. Like a week. No, it's
Just
been
a
like
couple days.
a week,
Oh,
yeah.
if it's been a week, I'll check in again.
Alrighty. You hop into his dreams tonight. He's just laying in a canoe in the middle of a lake in like an alpine region with trees all around him, petting a dog.
This is
I
a
bet
lot
that
different
dog-
than your usual dreams.
But what is he doing?
As the dream, I just said, petting the dog, bro. As
No,
the
what's the dog doing?
anyways, as the scene fades, as you appear in it, he'll look at you. Yes, it was a good day.
Anything you can speak on?
We served the Empire. And the talkative
John?
broad, well, my partner, she's come around, stops complaining all the time.
Good news. All
But
right.
no news from the Tullius.
Well, I wish you continued good days, and I'll put his dog back and disappear.
Yeah, you kind of watch for a moment, and I don't know. I think a part of you is uncomfortable seeing a guy who you know probably killed. Because when he says "serve the Empire," he means one thing. Because this guy's a fucking psychopath. He probably killed like multiple people today, and he's just in his dreams, like having a lovely sleep, like just petting a dog. He does sleep very soundly for a murderer.
He's been wanting to do it for
Yeah.
like he left his career because he didn't get to do it, and then Tullius had
Yeah.
him sit out on a fucking hideout for a month.
Yeah, he feels great.
Fighting stuff.
I'm happy I saw his potential.
Yeah, there just seems something deeply wrong with this. He shouldn't be happy. But yeah, the next day you guys wake up and ride back to Patricia, which is going to take about 3. Yeah.
Before we leave, sorry to interrupt.
Mm-hmm.
If I wanted to, back someone of the Holy Family, would it be Janice?
Who?
It's someone in my allies, Janice Verusian, Ganius Perusian Verusian.
Give me more details.
It's an interrogator.
Oh,
of the
that guy.
Pax
Yeah, I know
Mithdosica.
him. What about him?
Would he be someone I back as like next in line?
No,
Or-
there's already a candidate selected by the Emperor himself.
Oh,
Oh, the Emperor's already handpicked his successor.
Yeah, there is a bit of dispute
That's-
about
is
it
that-
at the start of the campaign, but as of the Edict of Patricia, it seems to be, it's not written in law, but like the legate of the First Legion is like, by all intents and purposes, seen to be as his direct successor.
Is he the first person that the Emperor's named?
No, the other one's died of old age though.
That's what I was getting at. I was like, could it mean that he knows he's on his way out or something?
I mean, yeah, he's
That
94 years
finally
old. There's
named?
been, I think, I'd have to check my notes.
But
I
the
think 2 or
Emperor
3
before
other
him
ones.
was like hundreds or I
No.
thought.
The Emperor before him was like 40 something and died in a tragic
Oh.
accident.
Am I just crazy? I thought there were several leaders that were like hundreds of years old.
You are crazy. There's only been 3 of them, and Aurelian Domitus lived to like 60s or 70s. The second one died in a tragic accident, and now we're on this
How
one.
old
who's
was the
94 years.
city-state overlord?
That guy was old as shit. Oh my god, that guy was like 100
Okay.
and something.
Maybe that's why I've got his.
That guy was so old.
And the Vizier was also very old.
I'm pretty sure that not the current overlord, but the current overlord's dad, I'm pretty sure he's older than the Mythosian Empire.
Oh,
Because the Mythosian Empire is so young. It's only been around for like 100 years or something like that.
Didn't the Grand Vizier have simulacrums?
Yeah, that guy was centuries. That guy's way older than the Mythosian Empire.
Wait, you say similar? Holy.
Yeah, that guy was really strong.
Why aren't we playing on that cool continent? The fuck?
It is this
You are
continent.
on
You're on
that
the same
continent.
continent.
we're wasting our time with bureaucracy when we could be messing with people who have fucking simulacrums.
Well, he's dead now,
Hello?
so
Yeah,
allegedly
campaign
dead.
killed him.
Yeah. Alrighty. So yeah, to answer your question, Blake, there already is a successor picked for the Empire.
Basically, what I'm asking is, if I wanted to do some like work for the Imperial family, who would I go to?
Well, I don't think you know, and I think that is a fun thing for you to think about how to figure that out. I would likely probably contact one of those 4 officers of the Imperial household, likely. Or if you want, I can just give you the name of the current, like, heir to the Empire, and you could just message him. And be like, hey man, what's up? Do you want that?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay, the current nominated heir to the Mithdosian Empire is Antonius Niberius Gaius Perusian Verusian.
All right.
He is your adoptive second cousin.
Interesting. I will basically write him a letter being like, yo, I'm here
Well,
for you.
You should write this out in text while we cut to Hecko.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Hecko. Or sorry,
Yeah.
Corvus. While everyone else is going to the Imperial capital to go prostrate themselves at the feet of a corpse emperor, you make your way to the wonderful city of Salernum, a bastion of free thought and independence in an empire which is rotting ideologically from the inside. It's about a day's ride for you, nice and casual. And ostensibly, you're just visiting your uncle to see how he's doing. Do you want to visit him at work, or do you just want to wait until the evening and visit him at home?
Of course I don't visit him at work. That would be so rude.
True. Well then, you make your way to a poorer part of the city. Your uncle is a lowly quaestor within the Department of Coin, so he doesn't have the nicest house. He has a little villa, but it's just not in the nicer part of the city. His wife is there. She gives you, familiar greetings. She doesn't know you very well, and your uncle has kept you at arm's length from much of his family. So you're told to wait in your uncle's office until he gets home. And a little bit after nightfall, so a little bit later than he normally gets home, the door to the office opens. You were reading a book by candlelight, and your uncle will walk over and reach out to give you a hug.
I reciprocate.
And a small reminder, we've been calling him your uncle. He's not your blood uncle. He's just a person you know. I don't believe he is your blood uncle, no. I believe
is this not Gallius Marcus?
He is, yeah. I
Sinisteria?
believe he's your adoptive uncle.
I thought he was actually my uncle.
Well, he is your uncle. He's adopted to be your uncle, though. He's not like your dad's brother. He's your dad's adoptive brother. It's a small distinction, but
Okay.
it's worth existing.
In the Empire, though, adoption is like
It is
it's pretty
basically seen
solid.
the same as being an actual uncle, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he'll give you a hug and say, "Well, Corvus, it's been some time." And he'll say,
Uncle.
"Give me
it's
one
fine.
moment." And he'll walk over to a cabinet, he'll take out a scroll, he'll enchant the words, and then he'll take a heavy sigh and say, much better. Well, congratulations.
We have saved was free from prying ears.
Yes. My wife won't hear. Scrying is prevented, the works. We got it from a new member.
Oh, how much does that cost?
Free for us. I'm sure on the open market, the Department of War would pay $1 million for it.
Oh my! I was just wondering if.
Well, $1
Couldn't
million
have
now.
Something so precious.
After what you did, $1 million would be a drop in the bucket. We could do this meeting 30 times and be fine.
Well, we wouldn't want to waste the funds right away.
Agreed.
But yes,
And I'm sure you are aware of what Bogdy did in Bortool.
I heard. I suspected it was him. I didn't get confirmation, and for obvious reasons, I didn't try to contact him afterwards.
Yes, and I can't discuss specifics, of course, but
Naturally.
suffice it to say, things are going very well, and you're to thank for that.
Well,
Have you come by for a
dedication
social
to the
visit?
cause. Not entirely. There's something that's been worrying me. The development. through what I now suspect to be some sort of maybe demonic connection. One of the members of my assigned group has gotten wind of my connection, I believe.
I see. That is quite
Problem is,
troublesome. Do you have anything
I don't
concrete?
think. I think he has. However, I don't think he's going to act on it. I'm pretty sure he's got some dirt on his own, and I have some on him for sure. After all, he was with me when we did this whole thing.
You're talking
Uh,
about,
Zednius.
yes, Bogdi mentioned it when he swung by to report.
Yes.
I believe Bogdi was attempting to build a relationship with him, but he informed me that he thought that that bridge was burned after the heist.
I think it might be. And Zednius seems to have quite a powerful connection. I've heard that he has managed to come back from being disintegrated.
Yes, Bogdi's our primary source on the details in Tarako, which is where Zednius owns an estate, and it seems as if he's related to a man named Tullius, though what this Tullius's role is exactly, beyond his membership in the Imperial family, is not exactly clear at the moment. Bogdi has a suspicion, but for containing information, I'd rather not share.
I understand.
In the short term, your tenure as judge has been going exactly as we'd hoped. Now, it is unfortunate you're stationed on the plains. That limits your ability to assist us. Much of our operations, as you know, have been in the core provinces. But there has been headway in the Department of War. There's a lot of indignation with how the war has been conducted, so I may have things for you in the future.
I was just making sure that everything was going, well, sufficiently well.
There have been setbacks. A cell in Parlo was destroyed. Symposium students in Reggio were arrested, tortured. The printing house for their pamphlets destroyed. But we continue.
Anything I can do to help?
Unfortunately, I think anything that you do to assist would further compromise your identity. You're best placed where you currently are.
Understood.
Though, I'm not sure if this will ever come up, since I'm not sure the full nature of your work, but if you find yourself faced with the option of assisting the Empire in battle, or letting them fail, at the current moment, the most advisable course seems to be allow their failure. If the war in the plains gets worse, we get closer to liberating the people of the Empire.
Sorry, can you repeat the last sentence?
If the war in the plains gets worse, we get closer to liberating the people of the Empire.
So now our strategy is to hope on the dragon.
Once the Emperor is gone, the war should be trivial. The Son of the Dragon, despite all of his pomp and circumstance, is somewhat reasonable. Ceasefires have been proposed by the Tibratians several times. I see no reason why, if we are to transition to a republic, we should attempt to cling on to territories of auxiliary states who betray us at the drop of a hat, Lubelski, Kuchvasko, so on. And the ceasefire proposed by the Son of the Dragon gave away territories that I see that the Empire has no value in anyways. So, the only thing that keeps us in this conflict is the Emperor's pride.
I see.
These are necessary sacrifices on the path to liberation.
Understood. Though I'm slightly worried. To me, it doesn't seem like the Emperor is going to croak anytime soon.
His death won't be natural.
Oh,
Not that there are any specific plans in the works. That's far outside of our control at the moment, but Well, Aurelian Domitus Sol didn't form the Empire by kind words and acts of uprising. He killed the
That is
consuls.
well understood.
Sic semper tyrannis. That was the word of the founders of the Regenan Republic, and it's one that we should live by.
Indeed.
Oh, there's one more thing. This is a piece of information that I'm sure, well, you could find in most Mythosian broadsheets, but a Captiosan priest named a heretic escaped from inquisitorial clutches and fled to the Delian League. He started printing pamphlets speaking of the false divinity of the Emperor and of the reality of the Captiosan Creed prior to the Light Wars. He's unaffiliated with us in any way, but his words are certainly useful to our cause. So, if for some reason your journeys take you in the direction of the Delian League, please inform me as soon as possible. We'd like to reach out and make contact.
I think for now we're going to stay on the plains. But if it comes to that, I will most certainly inform you.
Well then, carry out your duties with grace.
I will.
Now, you know I'd love to invite you to stay for dinner, but we have to keep an arm's length, so is there anything else?
Praetor Cato.
New
Consul by
Master
now,
of
I think.
Judges?
What do you know about him?
Mostly by reputation. Obviously, in my full-time job, I know nothing of him, but I have heard from friends of the family that he's remarkably rigid in his interpretation of imperial law. In a sense, that makes him quite useful.
How imperial law? How does he stand on the religious side?
He seems to try to draw a distinction between secular and imperial law, not realizing that his version of secular law was killed during the Light Wars.
I see.
Again, though, for our purposes, that's quite useful. Men like him will need to be around for the Republic to function.
I guess so.
While he'll never assist in the revolution, after the revolution has been launched, I could easily see him coming to our side.
Good to know.
And if for some reason he brings up concerns surrounding your activities, before you ever consent to a zone of truth, you should appeal to the legal processes. I'm sure that he'd award you that, certainly as a judge of the Empire.
I will think of that. Well, I think that's about all I have on my mind right now. Thank you.
You've done well,
for the
Corvus.
information.
Your father would be proud of you.
Thank you. And may the cause proceed well.
He nods, and he'll, basically do the symbol of IDE with his hands, which means Imperii delenda est, or the Empire must be destroyed. It's a pretty... You don't do that outside of private, because that is like instant trips to the jail cells. It's kind of like the ultimate version of fuck the Empire, we're taking this shit out. And yeah, he does that
That's
symbol
like-
with his hands.
Okay.
So,
I guess.
you leave Salernum, and you don't spend the evening there. You spend the evening at an inn, drinking with people that you don't know, thinking of how far that you've come. Then you make your way back to Patricia.
Yeah. How much time would I have spent?
Like 2 days. So you'd have
do I have?
a while before the party returns.
I have these 2 crystal items still on me. I assume they're still they're too valuable to sell here in Patricia. Crystal harp and the crystal flute.
Let me check something.
Oh yeah. Also, I forgot. I wanted to leave my spear +1. I wanted to ask my uncle if I how I could send that to the effort, because I have no use
just
for
give it to him. He'll find a way to get it to them.
Okay, yeah, I would have just left it with them then.
Alrighty. Well, technically, he would have told you to leave it outside and then he'd bring it to his basement in the evening, but whatever. It's same difference.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll just delete it from my sheet.
yeah, sounds good. Actually, add to your bio that you gave that to the Sons of the Republic.
Okay.
What are the 200 trying to sell? Crystal Harp, Crystal Flute?
Yep.
Yeah, those are too valuable for Patricia.
Should have gone to the capital, brother.
Wait, sorry, did you say those won't be able to sell in Patricia?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Alright. Well, I guess I'm just waiting then.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's fine.
do some more research if I have time, I guess.
Yeah.
Just spend my time trying to research into, or maybe even find a book on Imperial Sign Language. This seems to be pretty important.
Unfortunately, you don't get a full long rest, so no progress in that. But on October
Well,
6th...
If we spend
finding a
the
book
extra
on it-
4 days to go talk to Kato,
Well,
well, that's only
either
if
way,
Yogi and Dodo are down.
Yeah, so on October 6th, you guys all get to Patricia, and you meet up in the same place you did before, which is just the inn you were staying in. You know, Corvus, you're on the bottom floor, reading in a small little nook. You hear the door open, you hear, the voice of Primius, and your fellow judges have returned.
I stand up, coming ready to greet them, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe
Corvus, how was your rest?
Oh, uneventful. I
Understandable.
mostly tried to research a bit. I looked into a bit of folklore. If this Green Rider maybe was a folklore figure, because with connection to the Fae and the timey shenanigans, sometimes things tend to be a little odd, but it doesn't seem to be. And I'm sure that if there was direct connection to the Fae Granny, I would have mentioned it by now. Assuming she has, considering how
didn't
much
find
knowledge she
anything?
seems to have. Not really, no.
Hmm.
I think our best instance of going on forward is still Lubo. How about you? I look up and down Premius. See you are. My knight in shining armor has gotten even shinier.
Ooh. Don't flatter me too much. But
Well,
yes,
you did revive me from the dead.
I did manage to gain access to the Verzian family funds, so we now have access to 1.2 million pence a month.
Well, you, of course. You're the one of the Imperial family.
True. But my investment is in you guys and you not dying. So you can rest easy knowing we have 3 diamonds now.
That is very reassuring. Though I hope that we don't need to use them anytime soon.
We are sitting about 1 death a week now, so
Yeah, I've noticed
Depends
that's
on where we get
awful
sent.
trend.
If we get sent to Lubel, it could easily happen.
Well, speaking of that,
Yeah. We gotta get
Is it-
ourselves some disguises.
Lubel's a friendly city.
Oh, is it?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, you guys have been there before.
Yeah, I thought it wasn't.
I just assume everywhere we get sent is death.
That's very funny. No, it was friendly when the last time you went there. The people there were very kind.
All right,
they're like, yeah, you guys just got ambushed, and they're like, oh my god, guys, we're so sorry. But that should no longer be a problem because it's been I think 2 or 3 months. So if there's still Tabrasha troops there after 2 or 3 months, it is actually Jover, because that just means that Tabrashans can raid Imperial territory with no consequence, which would be bad.
I mean, what if it hasn't exactly been going well? So maybe that's even the truth.
Well, either way, a disguise wouldn't help you in that case because they were raiding everything that went through there, not just Imperial judges.
Yeah, I was more thinking of a disguise so they don't recognize us from a few months ago.
Oh, well, those guys are definitely dead because you killed them. Oh, you mean the people in Lubel?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know why you'd want that. They're a friendly city. They love
Yeah,
the
but
Empire.
they might also. Okay.
They got a huge
Don't want them
bribe.
to
They
be
love
like,
you guys.
Oh, I remember you guys. We're here a few months ago. Like, what?
I mean, they probably will say
Why-
that, but why is that bad?
Well, because then the rest of the party would know we were here a few months ago.
That's like meeting your relatives at Thanksgiving and being.
Oh,
like,
you think this is Dolno?
does
This
it?
is not Dolno. This is Lubel. You were there for a different reason.
I confused.
Lubel was right here. You guys came here because you were delivering a bride from the Empire to bribe the Kiage with like I think it was like $20 million or something. You went from Nauseous.
Lubel and Dolmo, yeah.
Yeah, and to be fair, they all sound the same.
But
I mean,
this
they're all
was the Bankai
Tabrashans.
city.
No, they're all Tabrashans.
So if we
They sound
see
the
him,
same.
is he gonna assume we have to give him more money again? He's
Well,
like, ah,
probably
the bank
not.
arrived.
Probably not.
More bribery.
That would be an insane assumption to be like, oh, these guys are here without a cart and no money, and I wasn't told in advance that a money shipment was coming, but I expect them to give me $20 million. That would be crazy if he did that.
All I'm saying
Where's
is
the
every
money,
time the cat
Lebowski?
sees me, it thinks I'm gonna feed it. That's
That you're not wrong, but luckily we're dealing with humans, not cats here. Well, Tabrashans, not cats.
I'd rather
What's
do
the
with
difference?
cats. They're very.
aren't they the Animal Lodge people? They're probably half cat by now.
Well, those are actually in the Imperial Legions. Sorry, those are in the Imperial Legions. Okay. So, is there anything preventing us from going to Lubel?
Just the letter that I'm gonna send.
To the heir to the Empire?
Yeah, is that
Great.
like a standard letter to send? With well, I guess I've
Standard?
never.
No, but you can just send it.
Yeah, I don't know. It
Because
doesn't seem
anything we're
incredibly
doing standard
weird.
at this point.
I mean, it is a little bit weird for sure. Hey, I'm your cousin. I want to help you become emperor. Anything you want me to do? That is kind of weird, but also you can just send it.
I mean, sure, why not?
Based. Okay. You send the letter. I'm just gonna read it for the players and the audience. Antonius Niberius Gaius Perusian Verusian. First off, I believe introductions are in order. My name is Premius Cosius Tiberius Perusian Verusian, and I am your second cousin. I understand that unforeseen tasks and challenges have arisen to oppose the works of the royal family. It is such circumstances that I wish to be of assistance. My skills and experience are at your disposal, whether it be of strategy or diplomacy. Should you have need of my services, do not hesitate to send word. A simple message will find me. With deepest respect, Premius Cosius Tiberius Perusian Verusian. So you send that to the war camp at Kujva, which is where the First Legion is stationed. So we headed to Lubel?
Yep.
Alrighty.
Should also send a letter to Father Hyperion, but that's more of a casual letter.
Okay. That is a crazy message, Dota. That one, dude, that is a crazy message. Yogi, that's so funny. Okay,
Hold on,
the
I'm gonna
Warrior
find
Lodge
it.
comment is very funny. Okay, so we start to go to the city of Lupol. Oh man, that's funny. Okay, it's gonna take us 2 days. So do we have enough rations for the party for 2 days on the plains?
I have 20 rations.
Great. Subtract 8. No, yeah, 8. Yeah, 8. Alrighty, there is one thing that happens during our journey to Lubel. It's not a huge deal, but we do need to cover it. As we are riding eastward, we spend the first night sleeping on the plains. And it's a pretty restless evening. It's stressful sleeping out on the plains. You guys take watches. You don't light a campfire. You have Corvus on watch for half the night because in the event you get another, giant Tabrashan army attacking you, Corvus can burn them all alive, which is a nice comfort as you try to sleep.
Also, a reminder: I'm casting alarm every night around the camp.
Understandable. Your eyes are going to be more useful than the alarm spell in this instance.
Yes.
But,
Yeah, this is just part of the times when I'm actually sleeping.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Same with Granite has dark vision, right?
Yeah, correct. Honestly, any person is going to be more useful than the alarm spell because the alarm spell is so limited in terms of size.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you guys take watches. The wind is nasty out here. And then the following morning, the wind continues. October is a miserable month on the plains. There's no greenery left. The agriculture is all done. So all there is dead grass as far as the eye can see. it actually feels apocalyptic. There is no buildings, there's no villages, because you're in Lubelski now. You're not even in the Imperial provinces anymore. You're in the shithole Tebrashian princedoms now, and there is nothing. Until the dirt road that you're on comes to a crossroad. One of the signposts indicates Lubelski, or Lubel. The other one indicates Kuzhva, and another one points towards Nasius. These, crazy, each of these are hundreds of miles away from this crossroad, but the sign indicates where they're located. There's also a small roadside shrine to Aurelian Soul, which sits with a skull nestled at its top with a little candle there. Even the light of Aurelian Soul can shine out here on the plains. And, Primius, you take a brief moment to consult the sign to make sure you guys have been going in the right direction. You glance down the road where the sign points as if to confirm its validity, and then all of a sudden, all of you, out of the corner of your eye, see someone where there was no one before. Perched atop the altar to Aurelian Soul with a fiddle in playing position is a man with a handsome rustic face, brown eyes, and a flowing green cloak. And I would like everyone to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, God.
Everyone gets +3.
All right, that is a failure. That is a failure. That is a pass.
Wait, 18 is a failure?
Yes.
Jesus.
We need Zenius. That is a failure.
Oh, God.
So, everyone, the man sitting atop the shrine strikes his bow against his fiddle, and all three of you are paralyzed. Primius, on the other hand, this agonizing noise goes through your head. You clutch the edges of your head and fall to your knees as you stare at this man playing on his bow. And he looks at you, cocks his head, seems a bit surprised that you're moving at all. And he says, "Oh, wow, this is going to be fun." And then he flourishes his cloak and disappears.
Are they still paralyzed?
They are.
I'm gonna cast Dispel Magic on Corvus.
Make a check. This would be a charisma check since you're a paladin. Because it is above 3rd level. That is a failure. It does not dispel the magic.
Yeah, yikes. Jesus. I'm gonna try and, shake them to see if that, undoes it.
No, they are still paralyzed.
Do they get to redo the save after 6 seconds?
No.
Okay, I'm
Did
gonna
I not
cast...
get a chance to counterspell?
That is interesting. Probably not, no. I think it was a surprise round, so he broke invisibility, so.
I'm gonna try and do it again on Corvus.
Okay,
Oh, wait,
charisma
no.
check.
This time on Zenius, because I know he has Dispel Magic at will.
Sure. That's not true, but you can do that anyways.
No,
no one has Dispel
detect
magic at will.
Okay, then I'm gonna do Corvus because he has more spell slots.
Okay, great. Charisma check. That works. You watch as an incredibly potent spell, at least ninth level, withdraws, and as the magical essence sort of evaporates from Corvus. And Corvus, while you were paralyzed, the only thing you could do was basic autonomic functions. Breathe. This was not like a paralysis of physical thing. Your body just couldn't move. You could think, you just couldn't move anything. And then all at once your body reactivates and you jump back in sort of a delayed reaction to spotting this figure on the altar in the first place. But you're back to normal.
Take care of the others. I'll keep watch. And I'm going to actively look for anything
Perception
out
check.
of the ordinary.
He thinks I have to spell magic, I can't.
You should tell him that.
I'm just gonna say, I don't have anything to help the others with.
Try something. Anything.
Well, about a minute has passed, and Zednius and Agrania both break out of the paralysis. The paralysis ends.
That was totally me, actually. Do I get XP now? Kick a chat?
Shut up, bro.
Where did Plinius go?
Permeus is just looking around the area with his sword raised. But yeah, after a minute, the paralysis ends, and Zednius and Grania, you are able to take a couple heaving breaths and return to animation.
Well, that was definitely our guy.
This is gonna be hard.
Sorry, I didn't dispel the magic on you two as well. I only have one spell slot left, and I'm keen on saving it for Revivify.
Well, we're lucky he decided to play with us. You know,
Instead of killing us. Yeah.
he could have had us right then and there if he wanted.
Maybe so.
It's weird. I didn't even have time to react.
You better be extra careful tonight. You don't want a repeat of whatever that was.
I agree.
Pretty crazy random encounter, right? I wonder who that guy was. I'm sure it's unrelated to any.
Oh, it was Hoover the Fair, obviously.
Yeah, for sure. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, you got vengeance.
Maximus
for
came
you guys
back. What a silly guy.
Yay, yippee! All right.
He learned 9th level spells in the time he was left.
Luckily for you guys, you don't need to spend another night on the plains. Instead, you can just ride in the direction of Lubel. Later that day, as the city of Lubel comes into view, there's a familiarity to it. Much like the previous time you visited the city, it is just so odd. It also bears a scar around the land that it did not have previously. The earth around the city has been formed into a moat. While the wooden construction of the city is hardly impressive, the earthworks surrounding the city are nothing short of epic. Surely, a Mithdosian engineer must be to thank for such impressive defensive works. As is to be expected, a cavalry patrol comes out to greet you, led by a boyar. But the moment that they see your judge's badge, they seem to relax quite a bit. And the boyar at the head of this cavalry squadron will say, "Welcome, Lord Judges, to Lubel. What's your business in the city?"
There's
A certain archmage. We're here to investigate what happened to her.
I don't know much about this. Can't say I'm familiar. In fact, do you want to meet with the Chancellor?
No, it happened.
It happened quite a while ago.
A ways away from here. We're simply here because it's the closest city.
Yeah, it's just some bureaucracy. Don't worry about it.
Is all the grass here dead too?
Yeah.
Has it been a dry season?
Yes, actually. Painfully so. The harvest went mostly fine, but, well, a lot of the wild horses are going to die off during this winter. Livestock, too. I can inform the Chancellor of your arrival. I'm sure he'd be happy to host a banquet for any visiting judges.
Want to? We wouldn't dare drain your funds if you don't feel the wish to. But I'm sure my fellow judges would be happy to accept a night of hospitality.
Well, I'll simply inform him of your arrival in the city and let him decide what to do. Oh, also, as before, this guy speaks fluent Mythos, without really any accent. And the boyar will nod, and they'll guide you to the city walls, let you in through the large wooden gatehouse, and he'll ride off in the direction of the glorified longhouse that they call a palace, and the rest of the cavalrymen will go back to patrolling the outskirts of the city. As for you guys, what are you going to do? You're in the city of Lubel.
One of us should ask around if we just had that guy just pop up in front of us. Maybe we should ask around if anything odd has happened here recently.
We'll have to be careful about asking about that. We're still following that edict.
Yes, but maybe we could ask just if there's news. Maybe ask somebody who's in a tavern. Either way, we're going to need to find an inn to stay at.
Well, there may be some
Unless,
problems if you guys want to sleuth and gather rumors amongst the local Tabrashans, which is that you're all very clearly Mithdosian.
I speak fluent Tabrashan, I believe.
So that doesn't matter. You're all still clearly Mithdosian. And in the same way that, you Mithdosians are a bit prejudiced towards the Tabrashan peoples, while the ruling elite of some of the Tabrashan plains are nice towards Mithdosians, the average people, I would say, largely hate you.
Is there a local Mithdosian garrison?
No, because this is not a part of the Empire. It's a allied principality. It
Yeah, I
has
was
its
just
own
wondering
garrison,
maybe
though.
they had like. Yeah, I was just wondering maybe they had some like allied, like
There
soldiers
is
here
definitely
stationed.
a, what do you call it? An attaché office, 100%. That would be
Yes.
where engineers and things like that are stationed.
Yes, I was wondering that maybe because they, the attaché, and I assume the local military would be used to dealing with Mithdosian and like and probably a bit more open to talking to them.
It's a good
That
assumption.
maybe
The
that's
boyer you
prejudice.
just spoke to spoke fluent Mythos, and the last one you spoke to when you were here before also spoke fluent Mythos. So
What is that thing?
Yeah, so maybe like local soldier taverns type thing.
okay.
What is that thing that countries put in other countries?
Embassy.
As,
Embassy.
Yeah, an embassy.
Yeah, Mythosia
that-
doesn't do that because that implies that they recognize these as independent countries.
Yeah,
Mm.
no, they're just they're just empire provinces waiting to happen for them.
Exactly. Yeah, you guys can make your way to the attaché's office, or, as you said, soldiers' bars. Though in this case, unlike the Empire, the Tibrashan Plains don't have a professional soldier class. There's no legionnaires that are like full-time soldiers. They have levies of troops led by lesser nobility. So you would be going to a bar frequented by lesser nobility. Because they don't have a permanent army.
Zednius, I think you're the best at dealing with this type of stuff, right? You're used to like rubbing shoulders with the lesser nobility, right?
With what nobility?
Lesser nobility and higher, for that regard. I really don't have experience with this type of stuff. I'm more used to, you know.
What do I need to get out of them?
Just ask if anything odd happened recently, like what just happened to us.
I mean,
Without-
he's very obviously Mithdosian, so they're not really going to take onto him very well.
Well, if they're working directly with the
I
Dojans,
might
they
be able to change to like commonish clothes. I don't know how much I could rough myself up to look less Mithdosian.
Well, roughing yourself
You
up
have a
doesn't
way
make
of
you look
disguising
less
yourself.
Mythosian.
Oh,
It's mostly like
what is
fashion
what is
trends.
the difference?
Yeah, it's mostly fashion
So
trends.
if I could go buy some clothes.
What if Brannia
Um,
polymorphed you into one of those animals?
What the fuck? That is
I don't
crazy.
think they're considered
There's like,
animal, like
yeah,
beasts.
Coming
there's
out.
layers to that one.
I did put the ring on before we went on this journey, so I am a 6'2" now, I
yeah,
think.
6'2" Giga
And
Chad.
like
Chad,
220, so I'm like actually, you know, a real masculine guy now.
Yeah.
yeah.
Have you been eating like whey protein? What happened?
You're doing steroids.
Back to my
yeah,
rations
bulking.
of chicken and rice.
magic
Must
magic growth hormone, you know?
Must have been. Oh, I didn't realize you were cutting. Well, on your cutting week when I first met you.
But yeah, to be convincingly
Okay,
Tibrashan,
so-
it would be both an accent thing and a clothing thing. Because
Okay.
you sound
well,
Mythosian Tibrashan.
let me go get new clothes.
Okay.
Brashin clothes.
All right.
You have the ability to magic.
Wait, when I put this ring on, do all of my clothes break? Do I just become like the Hulk busted out of all my clothes?
Luckily, no. They stretch and shrink
Okay.
with you taking on and off the
thank
ring.
God.
Yeah, I don't want to have to deal with
Wait.
Zednius one morning.
Wait, now I'm curious. If he takes off he goes big. He takes off his shirt. He takes off the ring. Does his shirt, while he doesn't have it on him, become big? Become smaller again?
Yes.
Okay, so you can't. No cloth refitting.
No.
Such.
Unfortunate.
Echo, do you really want to play my dress
He
up
does.
darling with
Let him cook.
Zednius?
Let him cook. Let him
I was just
cook.
thinking that could be like lucrative, right?
I like
No,
when
I
Echo
want
presses the
Zednius
edge of the.
cosplay session.
I like when Echo
No, it's
presses
like-
the edge of the
if you're-
the simulacrum.
No.
The facsimile.
You understand? If something is like incredibly, like let's say there's an incredibly expensive type of like silk or something, he buys a shirt of that, he becomes bigger, the shirt becomes bigger, we cut off the excess cloth.
Think about that.
There we go, money.
Infinite silk glitch.
Exactly.
This is very odd, and I want to move on.
It was based. I liked it, Echo. Okay. All right.
Think outside the box.
Well,
I didn't mean to be rude there. I thought it was funny.
so where
All good.
would we like to proceed?
It's Yogi, shut up.
Jesus Christ, Yogi. So where are we going, guys? What's the plan? What are we doing?
I gotta get Mythosian clothes.
Great.
And then what is the
Tabrashan.
Tabrashan accent? Is it like I don't. I'm
We're
not
making a
good at
charisma
that.
check. Don't
Okay.
try it. It's just going to be a
Okay,
persuasion
thank
check
you.
because
Let's not kill the fucking stream.
Well, it's also it's a
Oh,
subtle thing
God.
because it's just slightly more rural than yours, than the Mythosian one. But yeah, so it'll be 10 gold to get Tabrashan fine clothes.
Do you have a disguise?
Do they need to be
proficiency?
fine?
I mean, if you want to be a nobleman, yeah.
Oh, with nobility, yeah, they should be fine. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay. 10.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
What are you gonna do about looking?
I can get a haircut.
You don't
look
need to get a
more
haircut.
whatever the
Mythosians and
Tabrashan hairstyle
Tabrashans are
is.
not ethnically different. They look almost the exact same.
Oh, they're not.
No, you can't really tell it at it. Like, the only slight difference would be some people from the core
you can
provinces
tell.
are a bit
You can
tanner.
tell.
You really can't.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
And the best part is, Zednius is a Tabrashan. Like, he's born on the Tabrashan plains. So, yeah, there's really no difference between... Like, technically, Granny is Tabrashan, too. You all look the fucking same. But, yeah. So, Zednius, you can do all that. And just make me a simple persuasion check as you go and gather some information.
Boing.
Boing. Yeah, you make your way to a bar of boyars, and what you find is that incidents like what you described do not seem common here in Lubelski. That seems quite targeted.
What seems targeted? I'm so sorry.
The reason why you were doing this is because an individual appeared on the road and stunned you all, and you're like, oh.
Oh, and that seems to be happening a lot now.
No, it's not happening a lot at all. It only happened to you.
Oh. But what about anything unnatural? Like
No other
this-
stories.
This drought doesn't seem natural, right?
No, that's just a drought. It's pretty
No
common.
stories about a guy with a fiddle.
Nope. All the stories recently are centered around the fact that there are 600 cavalrymen stationed on the other side of the Amur River and have been raiding the countryside for the better part of a week.
What? Who are these men with?
Son of the Dragon,
Mm.
specifically Huba the Wormling.
They have a wormling?
Is there
he's
like
called-
is like dragon? Are there ranks to this? Like wormling, then worm?
No. The
then-
reason these are nicknames. The reason he's called Huba the Wormling was because he was the second in command of the dragon before he died, and so his
I'm so
nickname's the
stupid,
Wormling.
man. I thought
and
they were
then-
carrying around an earthworm and being like, it's him!
No, Huba the Wormling's a guy. He's a Kiage. He's one of the rebellious princes, and he got the nickname the Wormling because he would always be at the dragon's side.
Ah.
Yeah. So there's no rank structure to this. It's just nicknames. But yeah, troops loyal to him have been raiding the capital, not the capital itself, but like surrounding farms and stuff. And so that's the major topic of conversation, not like a guy with a green cloak.
Okay.
So once again, I open the floor. Where are we progressing, fellas?
I don't know, but Chowder's typing bangers.
Leave him alone. Just solve the problem in front of you.
I'm sorry. I mean, like, I don't think it's not unnatural because we know where to go.
Where do you go?
I mean, go to the world map, please.
Okay. If you know where to go, I don't even know why we're here in Lubel.
Because I believe where we were told to go is to cross the river, yeah, to right there, that thing that was marked on our map with the Skyrim thing.
Well, they're all Skyrim things, but okay. I think clearly we need a refresher. We were told that Arcanus Genticia, the person who investigated the Green Rider before us, went to Lubel. She's the last place that she was guaranteed to be. Then she said, I'm going to go check out Ostatic, and then she was never heard from again. But it is believed that she had notes and other such things in Lubel since she was there for months, and it is advised that you investigate that and then make your way to Ostatic. That was the specific lead you were given by the Master of Judges.
What was her name again?
Arcanus Genticia.
Archmage.
Okay.
Where was she staying when she was here?
You don't know.
Yeah, I guess I'll talk to the soldier again.
Well, no, I could,
Well-
I could. Were there rumors of like if I ask a guy, I heard there was some powerful wizard here. Where was she going?
They don't know anything about that.
When I'm doing this, they don't know.
And the Boyer, you did not. He's not sticking around. Like you like literally, Burmius. He's like, oh, I can get you a meeting with the Chancellor of the Princedom, and you're like, no, I'm good. And then he left. So, you three, I don't know what Grania, Corvus, and Primius are up to, but Zednius was off on his little side mission to gather rumors about the Green Rider.
I think we will talk to the guy after all.
Okay. Would you like to go grab Zednius first?
Yeah.
Okay. You make your way to a bar in the upper parts of the city. You peek your head inside. Zednius, dressed in furs and speaking in a probably offensive accent, is entertaining a small group of boyars in Tibrashan. They seem to be having a fun time, and one of them is in the process of, talking about when he first killed a man. Though I don't even know if you speak Tibrashan, so from your perspective, he's just like doing big sweeping arm motions and talking loudly.
Yeah, I speak to Bracken.
Okay, well, you can hear him saying, and that's when I drove the spear into his gut. I've never seen such a surprised look on a man's face before. And the other two boyars chuckle. And how do you extract Zednius from this situation?
Jeez, man. Do any of you have like a message cantrip?
Do I see Primius in the corner just looking confused?
Yeah, he's standing in the doorway looking at you, looking shy.
Okay, I'm gonna
Looking shy.
just like stand up and say, "Oh, that was a good one. I gotta go though," and then
Yeah.
make my way out.
Safe travels. May the spirits bless you.
You as well, my friend.
You make your way outside onto the street, you stretch, and you rip off the thin mustache that was plastered onto your upper lip.
Yes, Primius?
We're going to meet the Princedom or whatever the guy's name is. We
Yes.
suspect he
Good.
might have the most information.
Yeah, I can report that no one else has run into the target.
I'd be surprised if we had an Archmagus just sleuthing around back here.
I mean the green one.
Fair enough.
You guys are bad spies. Jesus Christ. We need like code names or something. All right. You guys make your way to the Prince's Palace, a glorified longhouse. You are meeting with the Chancellor of the Princedom. You've met him once before. And you meet with a boyar here guarding the hilltop and say that you'd like to meet with him. And a little bit later, you guys find yourself being led into a wooden conference room. At one end of the table is a man you've met before, Misko Boli, Chancellor of the Princedom. He wears a fur outfit, thin mustache, golden torque that he didn't have previously. And as he stands up to welcome you all into the chamber, he has a gold ring on every finger. And he says, Welcome to the Principality of Lubelski, Lord Judges, Lady Judge.
Thank you for having us.
What is the occasion?
We're here investigating a missing person. One Mrs. I'm terrible with names, man.
Arcanist Anticia.
Arcanist Anticia.
Yes, I met her.
Can you tell us, I guess, your story of like your last interaction and like what you've heard of her?
Back
Also,
in
where she
back in early April, she came here and asked for a place to stay in the city while she was investigating an anti-imperial agent. Since she's a judge of the Empire, I of course agreed that I'd find her a place. I recommended her to a retired friend of mine named Vakla Azov, and I haven't heard from her since.
Can you tell us where this Vakla Azov lives?
Yes, he lives just down the hill. There's a goat paddock out back, a small It's a fine estate. If you ask for the Azov estate, you should be guided on the proper path.
And he wouldn't mind us searching his premises for any of her belongings?
I'm sure he wouldn't. We're all friends of the Empire here.
Understood. Thank you for your information.
I will say, since you're in the area, I'd recommend you be careful, especially if you're going eastward. Crossing the Ammo River these days is quite, functionally impossible.
How so?
Well, you may have heard or may have seen, but there are about 600 riders under Huba the Wormling stationed on the eastern bank of the river. They've caused us quite a bit of trouble.
We appreciate your concern.
Of course. And if you have any trouble dealing with Azov, feel free to reach out to me. He's a boiler of the Principality, and on behalf of the Kiage, I can say that we would love to cooperate with our Mythosian allies.
That is greatly appreciated. We will do so if needed.
He does not speak Mythos, though. I hope that won't be a problem.
Not at all. I speak to Brashen myself.
Wonderful. And the Chancellor will give you another nod, and then he will exit the room. Conference concluded.
Yeah, time to follow his directions.
Yeah, finding the Azov estate is easy enough. As of the previous time that you visited this city, or when Corvus and Zednius went on their little trip to Dolno, there are a series of very nice houses surrounding the prince's palace, and that is where you guys are looking for. And you find the Azov estate. It is a large, again, basically a longhouse, stationed near the top of the hill. And you can see, as he indicated, goat paddock, pile of wood, fine estate with carvings of local spirits, just a classic Tabrashan nobleman's house.
Thanks. I'm gonna knock on the front door.
You give it a knock a little bit later, the door opens, and an older man, probably in his 60s, maybe early 70s, will answer the door, and he'll look at you all, and his eyes sort of pass to your judge's badge, and his face lights up, and he says, in Tabrashan, so for those of you who speak Tabrashan, which I think maybe everyone, honestly. Oh, he gives you all a legionary salute, like something from the Imperial Legions, and says, Mythosians!
I'll give him a nod and a smile. Greetings.
He
May
nods and
we come in?
says, "Oh, of course, of course." He opens up the door wider, and you can see a narrow little entry hall with like room for boots and coats and stuff like that.
Now, the reason for us stopping by is really quite simple. Back in April, there was a woman that stayed with you, yes? Does this ring a bell?
Yes, Judge Janticia.
Yes. We're investigating her whereabouts at the moment.
She stayed here for a month and said she would take a couple-day trip to Ostatic, and then she never returned. She left many of her things. I kept the room untouched. I thought someone would come.
I appreciate your cooperation. May you take us to this room?
Of course, but one moment. And he walks over to a little cabinet, opens it up, and he reaches inside and pulls out a little... it is a trophy of service. So if you spend 20 years in the Imperial Legions, you become an Imperial citizen, all that stuff. If you serve in one of the Auxiliary Legions, so one of those of the Allied Principalities, for a long time, you will receive a little badge basically marking you as a friend of Mythos. And he'll reach into his cabinet and pull it out and show it to you guys and say, "Friend of Mythosia."
Yeah, I will give him a smile and a small salute. Yes, is in order.
I fought in the Second Boyers Revolt.
Bravely, I suppose?
Of
Against
course.
the boys, I hope. I say
Of course.
jokingly.
of course. Friend of Mythosia.
Friend of Mythosia. And I will give him a pat on the shoulder. Now,
And then he'll bring you guys up to the second floor, and he'll stop when he reaches the top of the stairs. He'll reach into his pocket, pull out a key ring, take an iron key off the ring, and sort of hold it out to the four of you, unsure of who to give it to.
I'll take it.
It's the door at the end of the hall.
Understood.
And he'll kind of retreat down the stairs.
Yep, time to go to the room.
Sure. You head to the end of the hall. You put the key into the lock. You twist. You open.
You explode.
The room beyond looks... There's a foggy barrier. Think Dark Souls barrier between you and the interior of the chamber.
Oh, shit. You got a fog wall.
Zenius, can you check for magic?
Yeah, I'll flick my eyes.
Magical for sure.
Everything in here?
No, just the barrier. You're not in the room. There's the barrier, the fog barrier. Yeah.
What kind?
What kind? I'm guessing conjuration.
It does not belong to any school of magic that you are familiar with. It seems to be a fundamentally different type of magic than you are used to, as if from another plane or place entirely.
I look at Granny and say, could this be Fae?
I'm sorry, I was in the bathroom. What did I miss?
There's like a fog magic in this room covering
We
covering
detect
it all.
magicked it, but it's not a school of magic that we recognize, and it's not from this realm of existence. So Zenius asks you if you think it's Fey origin.
That's a Harkon question. I don't know if Granny
You're
knows.
not an expert of what is and is not Fey magic. You weren't very studied on the topic.
Yeah, if I haven't run into it, then I don't know it.
Exactly.
Have I
yeah.
seen something like this before?
Certainly not.
I'll just shrug.
Has Hegal.
Ooh. Well, Yogi. There is a chance, so roll just a flat d20. 10 or above he has, because there definitely is a reason why he would have encountered this. I just don't know if he would remember it. How would I describe this?
I'll go get some people quick.
You get a flash of a mental image of a tall, painfully skinny, pale, alien-looking creature casting a spell, and the end result looking very similar to this.
It's Elvin.
This is Elvin.
Hmm?
This is Elvin magic. Who could have cast this? Do we think she cast this? The Green Rider?
No.
I don't understand.
Also, don't say his name.
Fucking Voldemort.
Like we're in like a small house with
You
one
are,
other
yeah.
guy.
And there is a guy downstairs who's probably like ear to the fucking paneling.
Okay, everybody take a step back.
Then let's figure out a code name right now, okay?
True.
We can't say Green Rider. I gotta
Voldemort.
say something.
No.
Voldemort.
Jesus Christ. No.
Let's get Harkin sued by J.K. Rowling.
Yeah, literally no.
Yeah, no.
What
How
is
about
the what is it?
I mean, the Green
How do you
Rider is
say-
already a code name, to be clear. You don't know what his actual name is.
How do you say devil in sign? Well, I guess you wouldn't know, but like I'll just sign devil and just say if we need to say who we're referring to, we'll just do this, and I will hand sign.
that could be impractical? Hand signing it. Probably just say
It's silent, no noise, and no association, no verbal association. I find it perfect.
How about we say green? Green like a plant or a forest. How about we say the forest keeper? I don't know. Something like that. Something that if somebody walks past, they wouldn't think twice about hearing that word.
I feel
And is this barrier? Is it is it just visual or does it?
You haven't touched it yet.
Is this like right at the door, or is this like halfway?
It's just within the interior of the door.
We all have Estus flasks?
No, you don't, unfortunately.
God damn it. Where's the next bonfire?
Does anyone have like a 10-foot pole? I feel like we had one in somewhere at one point.
Probably a Maximus thing. That sounds like an Ethan thing to
Yeah.
do.
I have my
I
quarterstaff.
was-
What,
That
blow it up with a
works.
stick?
Quarterstaff
Sounds like
could
a
work.
very military thing.
Yeah.
I'll stick my quarterstaff into the mist.
Alrighty.
Oh,
Oh,
back.
wait, stop!
Everyone get far away. Everyone get far away.
Yes, yes. I was
Wait,
about to say before we
okay.
touch this, back the fuck up.
So we all back away and leave Grania next to the barrier.
Actually, I'm gonna before Grania does
rope.
this, I'm gonna just hit a dispel magic on it. I'm gonna try.
Oh, great.
Wait,
Make a
wait.
check with Chris. Wait, what level do you cast it at?
5th.
Oh, it just works. The barrier fades, and yeah, you can see the room beyond. The room beyond is well loved, or at
Okay.
least once was. Wooden flooring, a well-made bed, a closet with a mixture of travel clothes and robes. At the foot of the bed is an open chest with nothing inside. Next to the window is the main focus, though. There's an angled writing desk with a small end table beside it. The end table is covered with writing implements and ink, while the writing desk has a number of note sheets and strangely fancy paper. The papers on the writing desk are scrambled in a hectic fashion, and the writing desk has a closed wide drawer with a lock on it. There's also a bookshelf in the room with a single book on it that reads Rise of the Mithdosian Empire.
Check for magic.
There is magic at the lock to the desk. There is also illusion magic standing in the corner, roughly in the shape of a human being.
Oh Lord. I'm going to. Yeah, I'm going to turn
It
around
is
and
a
I'm going to
Dark Souls
sign
boss.
something in here. Signing. That's basic enough. I should be able to do.
Yeah.
I will.
I mean, we'll sign attack it.
I will sign point.
I'll turn and I'll point at the invisible illusion figure.
Okay, well,
I'm casting.
what are you casting?
I'm casting.
Are you gonna burn the fucking house down?
No.
Okay.
I've
I'll
more than
say-
I
fire.
thought you were gonna say fireball. Well,
no.
as you point
Illegal
at the
Grania
figure,
said someone is in the room. I would prepare counterspell.
as you point at the figure, in the corner of the room where there was once nothing, there is suddenly a man. He stands shorter than Primius, but taller than Grania, and around the height of Zednius. He wears fine burgundy garbs, and a whole gaggle of instruments hang off various parts of his body. Solid blonde hair and a painfully handsome face looks out at all of you. He looks like a deer caught in headlights, or a thief that was caught stealing from a cookie jar.
Short or tall Zednius?
Well, now that you're a Giga Chad, shorter.
Orlando
Okay.
Bloom. Okay.
Yeah, I'm attacking him.
What? You're not even in the room. I don't even know why. Also, they literally said they readied spells. Okay, we gotta take order of operations here. Corvus, what spell are you readying?
Honestly, I think I'm just letting go. Fuck. I don't have this prepared. Never mind.
Okay.
I don't think I'm letting anything go.
Then you're
actually.
doing nothing. Zednius is in the doorway. So Zednius is. What would you like to do?
Does he look? I mean, he just revealed himself, right?
Doesn't look intentional.
Oh.
He looks surprised.
I'm not gonna take any action. I'll say, "What are you doing in here?" And then I'll step out of the way for Primius to bust in if he needs to.
Yeah, I'm swinging at him.
Okay. Well, make an initiative check, Tangy, and make an initiative check, Blake.
Oh.
Somebody misread the situation.
All right. You can act first, Tangy. What would you like to do?
How big is this room?
It's pretty narrow. It's about 10 feet by 10 feet. A man. Now, of course, you knew you were breaking into someone's house, but you didn't expect someone to immediately try to decapitate you, which is what this person seems to be doing.
I'm going to Misty Step
Yeah.
to the other side of the room.
Okay. Yeah. You misty
Uh-oh.
step to the far side of the room.
Wait.
Yeah.
Granny counterspell.
Okay. As you begin to misty step. Wait, what level is misty step again? It's 3rd level, right? So it's auto counterspell.
Second.
Second, I think.
Okay, yeah. So as you begin to misty step as your bonus action, and we will track these initiatives in case it comes up, which you probably will. As you begin to misty step and the warmth form in your lip and you feel your body begin to go immaterial, you hear a Well, that's the thing. You hear a voice that you very distinctly recognize as a Fey voice, but you see it exit from the, like, you don't see the woman's lips move, so you're not sure where that noise came from. But your spell is... Oh, just it doesn't have a verbal component? Oh, you're right, it's just somatic. So then, your Misty Step is countered. You still have an action, though. And obviously, because Misty Step is what it is for you, that doesn't burn a spell slot.
Wait, we can talk about this.
All right, that's your action.
Okay,
We can talk about this, Permeus.
Yeah, I assume his hands are up right now, being like, wait.
It did sound like it, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess I'll just, instead of attacking him, I'll just hold him at sword point. And,
Okay.
Like, have my rapier to his throat.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you're not going to kill him anymore, so we can exit initiative.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk around, and somebody has a rope. I'm gonna tie him up.
I'm
Well,
manacles.
there's
I don't
also
have rope.
layers to that. So, at the moment, Tangy and Blake, Permeus and this unidentified man, you have a sword to his throat.
Explain yourself.
Magic eyes.
I'm just here, collecting some notes. I don't want anything else. If you want anything else out of this room, then you can take it.
Corvus
collecting
searches
notes.
person.
Is this person magical?
Not inherently, no. They do have some magical items on them, though.
And to rob this guy.
I mean, I was checking for like a second, like a disguise or something. Just...
Not that you can tell. Their earring is magical. Their boots are magical. Every single one of the instruments on their person is magical. But that's about it.
Okay. What are you doing in here? Do you
I'm
know
just
whose
collecting
room this
some
is?
notes.
Whose notes are you collecting? Who's this person you're collecting the notes from to you?
Jantusia.
Who is she to you? I'm asking. I don't know her name.
She was just in the pursuit of knowledge, and we happened to have been in pursuit of the same knowledge.
Those notes belong to the Empire of Mithdosica, and you will hand them over at once.
Well, I haven't found any notes so far.
Insight.
Start with the basics.
I
Who
mean,
are
you can roll an insight, but he doesn't have like a satchel bag or a backpack. Like, there's
Okay.
nothing for him to be like. He is what he is. He's wearing very nice clothes. He has his instruments like dangling from every part of his body. He has an earring in. He has nice boots. Like, I mean, maybe he's hiding it in the ruffles of his clothes, but
Like, I'll give him like a quick.
Did you cast
quick
that
pat
barrier?
down.
Did you cast that barrier?
Did I cast the barrier?
yeah, you certainly did. That was although cast is a bit of a weird term. You more so channeled a ritual that you are deeply familiar with from. We'll call him your patron.
Yes, that barrier was mine. I didn't really want anyone interrupting me.
How did you learn such magic?
I travel around. I use my instruments. They have magical properties.
Are his instruments, do they give off the same otherworldly magic?
Two of them do. The other ones are, I'd say, much more bog standard material magic. You know, stuff you've seen before. Mostly the schools of abjuration, which is like generic enchantment. The earring and the boots, they also give off, like, I'd say, somewhat generic abjuration magic.
Okay, so just two of his instruments give off this
Yeah.
possibly elven or otherworldly magic.
Yeah, those being...
Are they mundane instruments, or are they, like, strange,
It's
also
a flute and a
otherworldly
pan flute.
instrument? Okay.
Yeah.
This is strangely similar to how similar is this guy to who we ran into earlier?
Well, he doesn't have a green cloak. He has blonde hair instead of brown. He has brown eyes, though the other guy, I guess, also had brown eyes. He doesn't have a beard. He doesn't have a fiddle. He has a ton of instruments, but not a fiddle, nor a bow, which is what you need for a fiddle to play a fiddle. He doesn't have a horn at his waist. So, other than the fact that they play instruments, I'd say almost nothing in common.
You have to
And have
best
brown
the same
eyes.
person.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
That's
It's him.
true. Yeah,
And
that's
cast
true.
magic and are
Okay,
really
yeah, but that's like everyone in the fucking party. That's also Grania. You're now describing Grania.
Yes, the Green Rider is a 17-year-old girl.
Based.
Based.
He was just doing some mischief.
So back on topic. He said he's been here and there, picked up some things.
You're not
What
helping
about-
your case here.
I'm a
Yeah, what about
traveler.
those?
I trade stars.
The more specific you get, the easier this gets for you. The more vague you are, not so good. So let's try that again. Answer these questions specifically, or this gets bad.
Okay. Give me your questions.
Where did you get your flutes?
That's
My flutes.
Well, that's a
I seem to
complicated
have-
question.
For as long as I can remember, I've just had them. Like, how does a
You have,
man
like,
get
a-
a random sword? Like, you surely have weapons on your possession that you don't remember where you got them from.
can't
I
say I
can't
do.
say that I do. No.
No, that doesn't happen.
Unless you have intensely bad memory. Who are you?
I am Tiberius.
Full
Only
name.
from?
Rabat. I'm
Tiberius
you
what?
from?
Your
from
last
Mythosha.
name is the Bard?
Well, it's not like my last name. It's sort of like what people call me.
Typically only like hoity-toits get the full Zednius, Fabricia, Beluso.
Well, even commoners of the Empire would have their father's name and then a family name, but it is very common for stage performers or whatever the fuck this guy is to adopt like pseudonyms or something similar like that, like Huba the Fair or Zeno.
There's like bard documents you have to have, right?
Well, in the Empire, but you're not in the Empire.
He just said he's Mythosian.
Did he say that?
His name sounds very Mythosian. I'll
Sure,
say
but
that.
I'm pretty sure he said he's
even then
Mythosian.
you're not in the Empire, so it doesn't really matter. Also,
What kind of
yeah.
accent does he have? If he has any?
what a question!
British.
What a fascinating question. The answer is shockingly neutral. Like you have no fucking idea where he's from. It doesn't sound Tabrashian, doesn't sound Mythosian, doesn't even sound foreign. It just sounds neutral. Is the answer.
We'll start with a different one. How did you come to meet or even know about the Archmagus and where she stayed?
Well, as I say, we were in the same circles, like searching for the same information.
What
Like,
sort
her
of
notes
information
about
is that?
everything.
What information would that
um,
be?
Well, we seem to have both been looking for someone.
Who?
Okay, we were looking for the Green Rider.
Who told you about him?
The Green Rider. And who's that?
I don't know, he seems very powerful. He seems like someone that needs to be talked about.
Talked about.
And someone who should probably be stopped doing whatever he's doing.
Does that seem convincing at all? Like, does he seem like does the guy seem like he's on the side of the Green Rider, but he's trying to pretend like he
I mean,
actually
bro,
needs them.
dude's been avoiding a lot of questions already.
Yeah.
I don't
Listen,
know how we feel.
I think we're gonna try to avoid insight checks for this first encounter and just go on your vibes. I think your vibes is that this guy's trying to cover some shit up, and I think
Yeah.
that you should continue to operate on
He's
that
lying
assumption.
about the flutes for sure. He's lying about
Well, the flutes
where
is
he's
like whatever.
from. To
Obviously, he's not
you.
gonna tell us.
I mean, I'm pretty sure
Grania,
this is like
what
ancient
do you
elven
think?
crazy shit.
I forgot. Dota throat hurt. Sorry.
No, I mean
Dota.
Dota's here. I just think he was deafened for a second. I don't know if he heard you.
Oh yeah. What does Grania think?
Lost champ. Let's see if he unmutes. Nope, the throat virus took him away. The Campylobacter fucking norovirus. It's
Does he
Joker.
have any? Does this guy Tiberius have any weapons?
I actually don't remember Tangy.
Well, if he's a bard, he uses his instruments. So
That's
if
not what he
wanted
asked
to
though. He asked if he had
disarm-
any weapons.
He could have like a dagger or
He does
something.
not have any weapons.
Regardless, I think for now we should detain him.
All right, I'll toss Corvus some manacles.
Well, he
Right?
didn't. Didn't he try to Misty Step? Do you even? Isn't Misty? Can he just Misty Step out of those?
Correct.
Yeah, of course you can. But I can counterspell, and so can Grania.
Trust me, none
And I
of this
will-
is really needed.
Yeah, you can keep yapping. I'm gonna put his hands and manacles behind his back.
Well,
Oh,
I mean-
Dota, you're back. What does Grania have thoughts about this?
Not particularly.
I mean, Tangy, you
Yeah.
obviously have an extensive spell list. And these people seem quite hostile, but they do seem to know something about your pursuit. So, what do you want to do?
I think I'll let them put the manticles
Okay.
on.
Manacles.
Manticles. Yeah, you place the iron manacles around his hands. As you touch them, they are remarkably soft. Because you have to touch his hands to put them away. And the reason I'm banging that up is not to be like, oh, he has soft hands or whatever, but more so, he's a musician. You would expect it to be, somewhat calloused flesh just by daily living. I think that just, you're already sussed out about the situation. That's just another red flag to add on to the onto the
Just
stack.
gets us regular manicure, okay?
Yeah, well, that literally is what it feels like. It feels like this is like new skin or something.
Does he seem rich? Like, do his
What a
clothes seem
question.
extravagant?
I mean, they are fine clothes, yeah.
Does he smell like he has like some fresh pomade in his hair? Like,
Tangy, how
does
good
he
do you
give
think
like
he'd be
heavy
smelling?
noble vibes?
Tangy, are you using perfume? Are you getting all dappered up?
No, he isn't.
Okay. What do you think he smells like? As Corvus sniffs you.
It's less sniffing, but like if I'm close enough to like put manacles on him and he has really long hair, if he has something in his hair that would smell, I would smell it.
Yeah, for sure. So you sniff him. What do you think he smelled like, Tangy?
Sniffer.
I think it's just like a normal smell of hair. Nothing really.
Yeah, no real product, no
attracted
real
the attention.
perfume.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Now, you've asked me a few questions. Now, why are you all here?
You actually expect us to answer?
Well,
We're
it's
the
only
judges of
fair,
the
in the
Empire,
end.
and Tissia was. We don't rightfully know whether she's alive. A judge of the Empire. We're doing a duty and looking what happened to her. I think that's as much as information as we're willing to divulge at the moment.
Oh, well, that's fair.
And I'm gonna start taking all of his items away from him and search him.
okay.
I'll leave him his
well,
clothes and nothing else.
there's not much to search. like I said before. Additionally, I mean, you'll run into some small problems. The earring will not come out unless you like rip his ear off.
Oh, I wasn't gonna take off his earring. I don't know.
Oh,
It's
okay. Well, you
magic,
said
and taking
everything.
off
You said
somebody's-
everything. So, but yeah. So
unless I can tell it's magic, I think I might leave it on him.
okay, then you take the flute. That's easy enough. Basically, it's just musical instruments.
Eating the flute, that would be upsetting.
I was not going to do that. No.
But yeah, you take all the instruments off his person. I mean, that's all there. That's literally all there is. Oh, and a really small coin purse.
Then I'll look over to Zednius. Anything else magical on him?
Oh, sorry. He also has
his-
a map case.
His boots. A map case. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, then I would have thought he had the notes in there.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we need to look inside
Interesting. Yeah, you guys can look inside. It's a map of Tabrash, like just the
Wait, sorry.
plains.
there. But
I
he
asked-
had a magic earring and boots.
Okay, I'll take those then as well.
They will not come off his body.
What do you mean, like not come off his body?
Well, so for the earring, you go to like remove it. Obviously, you just try to like undo the like. You basically try to. There's a little metal tine, so you try to like remove it and pull it out the ear. But every time that you rotate it, you know, you keep rotating it to waiting for like that little metal clip to come out so that you can just take the earring off. It just doesn't end. Like it literally feels like it's like a clown trick where like it just keeps more wire keeps appearing. It just won't come out.
I don't feel like cutting his earlet off, so I'm not gonna leave it on.
And then
The
for
boots.
the boots, they are just stuck fast to his feet.
I'll look at. I'll
I'm
look him in
going
the eyes.
to. Hold on. What should I do? I think I'm gonna head all
you just
anti-magic him.
freak.
Yeah, no, anti-magic him so we can take those items off.
Oh, that's a great idea, actually.
What? I have to go read the head all thing again. Can you put it in chat? Because I don't. My gut instinct says that will not work, but I just need to reread
It
it
should
again.
suspend magical items' effects while they're in the field.
Oh, then yeah. Yeah, I don't think that would work.
What?
Well, so
All
Hedgehog
active
does it.
spells are dispelled, and the effects of magical items are temporarily prevented.
Yeah, that's certainly yeah. That would not affect it. So yeah,
Okay.
Hedgehog will anti-magic the back of the room, and then you give another tug on Tiberius's foot. Tangy, you're getting poked and prodded at all angles today, and the boots do not stray from his feet, nor does the earring come off of his ear.
How the hell is that possible? I'll pull out my razor knife I use for
Trick
shaving.
to it? Is there like a sleight of hand check I should make to try and get this earring off?
I mean, you can make one if you want.
No, I'm
Okay,
gonna.
I don't know if there's it's like a puzzle.
It's Shrimple, guys. We just cut off his feet and ear.
Truly.
know-
I would not
Feet.
recommend doing that.
I'll step up to him real close, and I'll pull out my razor blade and I'll hold it to his carotid artery, I think it is,
Sure.
Oh my god.
and I'll ask him.
I'll stand between Granny and whatever's going on here. This is getting insane.
Ah, yes, must
Oh, don't
protect
worry,
the
I'm not
children
kidding.
from
I'm
seeing
not
murder, not stopping the murder from happening.
Yeah,
I cast suggestion on Corvus to kill this guy.
Based? No, he's not doing that.
Wait, do you actually?
No.
Okay.
No.
He did it in the yogi tone of
Echo
voice.
sounded really sad. Really?
Oh, I get to kill somebody.
All right, Chorus, you hold it to his carotid.
Right. What does the earring do? And what do the boots do? And how do I get them off of you?
But I don't really know how to get them off. I was gifted them. By
Are they
Kim.
cursed?
I guess you could say it's a curse. Especially the boots. It makes it hard to sleep sometimes with them on.
I'll try. Do I have remove curse? No. Okay, never mind.
Well, what can you do?
I can.
Oh, Granny could try.
Yeah.
I think it would be a waste of time. I've tried
But-
quite a few things to take them off, but nothing has
Where
worked.
you get them?
I was performing for a king quite a while ago, and he gifted me them.
Dude, if you don't give us some like specific information,
That
I
was
mean,
specific. You could say you don't like it, but that was specific. To
king?
be
What
clear.
king?
A king.
I
What
performed
king?
for a
Where?
king one time.
That's specific.
The king of what place?
No,
When?
that is not. That is
it-
not. If you asked me like a serious question and I said, "Oh, I got it from this thing one time," you would be upset.
I'm just saying, we can move on. But if cop says, hey, where'd you get those shoes? And you said, oh, I got it from a store. That's a fully valid answer to that question.
He said
Yeah,
he was
unfortunately-
performing for a king. After we die down, I'm
Yeah.
gonna say, was it the Bear King? And then I'm really gonna gauge his response hard here.
How much do you know about Bear King?
Do you guys want me to
Uh,
cast?
I think it was just me here that was
Zone of
invited
Truth
to that
here?
party.
Nowadays, yeah, it's just you. Yeah.
I know he exists, and he's
And Grania
oh,
knows
okay.
something about him.
Oh, she knows
Yeah, we
lots,
went
but you know,
into the
we'll leave that to the side for now.
Zednius.
Did Tiberius look shocked that I knew that name, or is he just like? now
Tangy, what do you
curious
think
that
his
I knew
reaction
that?
would be? I mean, you and I
He was
both
so
know.
curious.
Yeah, that's a that
Okay.
makes sense.
Zednius.
Yes, Premius.
Should I cast a Zone of Truth?
We can. It seems like he has enough wiggle room with his answers to get past most of our questions, though.
That's true. None of the that's actually a really good point.
There's no
Yeah.
obligation.
Like, I don't
to
think he's
actually
really
answer.
lied at all. He's just been super vague, or
I'm
dancing
gonna
around
remove the razor
things.
knife from him and say, no funny business for now.
I wouldn't think about it. I'd like to put the manacles on in the first place, didn't I?
Okay, that was
Well,
pretty
you
good.
didn't really have a choice, did you? Know?
Well, I could have attempted to, Jan. Like, if you were planning to kill me, it probably wouldn't have been a good idea to let myself be put in manacles.
Well, if we intended to kill you, you'd be dead.
Exactly.
So, Tiberius, do you have a further name than that?
Well, I wanted to know what this fine person knew about the bear.
We're
King.
asking the questions here.
Okay,
You
I
see,
will
when you surrendered
admit.
most of your items and put yourself in manacles, you kind of gave us the power.
I will admit. I did get my earring and my boots from the Bear King.
I look over towards Grania.
Insight.
You'll tilt her head in confusion while you're looking at it.
Motherfucker said
Because
insight.
I thought you hated the Bear King. Do I know that?
Wait,
Or
is this guy human?
Visually, yeah.
Like his ears are
Yeah.
round?
Yeah. I don't know what that insight's for, Blake. I mean, he just said the Bear King. I don't know what to say.
Is that the truth?
Pattern
I-
recognition.
Again, in this encounter, because it's going to be kind of opaque, unless, like, I don't know, if you really want to, you can. I'm just going to, like, but I think you should just go by your gut instinct. If you really want, Tangy can roll a check here, but he has very high modifiers
you
on
just
these.
asked him if it was the Bear King. Are we wondering if he's even human?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, but he seems to be superficial. He seems to look human. Alright,
And you said you were born where? Mithdosica, you said?
Yes.
Where?
where Doja? And how come you're only giving us your first name? I'm sure if you're born with Doja, you have a full name.
That was a long time ago. Okay, wait. Let's let's start this from the beginning again, because I think there's information that both parties probably want, and it's probably easier if I tell you what I want. I want to find the Green Rider and reveal his location to the Bear King, so he
What
can be
interest does
stopped.
what interest does the Bear King have into him?
I'll look to Zednius. You're the one that knows the most about whatever that thing is.
It's
No, actually, that's Grania, right?
Fae. Powerful Fae.
I'll look to Grania.
She'll kind of just cock her head at you.
The Bear King?
Just
What's going on with him?
she'll shrug. He was from the last place we were at. He seemed to be fleeing the Fey realm.
Fleeing? Wait.
That's why his guardian was there. That's what she'll sign.
Oh, that was his guardian.
She'll nod.
Oh, damn.
Wait, so he tried to kill us. Killed me, in fact. Or
She'll
was that
sign.
under
I don't
the
think it had to
influence
be
of?
specifically any of us.
Or was that under the influence of the Green Rider?
She'll shrug.
Yeah, that's kind of vague.
So is the
I'm
Green
still
Rider
stuck on the fact
Fey
that
in
we asked
nature?
where you were from in Mythdosia, and you said that was a long time ago.
You did say that.
Well, he clearly has a connection to Fey shit, so he might have been in the Fey realm for 20 years, and in here over here it's like 200.
Well, I'm sure if you named a place, we'd be able to trace it back.
Is there
Unless it
a
was
is there
before
a
the
name
Empire.
for what our realm is? Like, there's the Fey realm, the Deadwood. Is
Yeah,
there a
you guys
name
would
for,
call
like,
it the
normal
material
land?
plane.
Okay. Are you from the material plane, Tiberius?
I wouldn't really call it the material plane. It's the Bogland.
Where's the Bogland in Mythdosia?
You've never heard of that shit in your life.
Not even Granny has heard of it.
No. Well, actually, you have, but some really old Fae Grania. Like, old fucking Fae. Fae who remember shit that is long outside of the recorded history of the material plane. They call Valoros the Bogland.
How old is this guy?
Well, only Grania knows that. But yeah, Grania, the only person you personally knew who called the material plane the Bogland was Scalatha.
Yeah, she's not going to relay that then.
Yeah, I would imagine not.
Hello, the Bogland.
Should we report this to the head of judges?
Well, most likely we would want this individual to be brought in for questioning, right?
Suppose so. He is meddling with Empire business.
However, he seems to be a spellcaster of the.
Well, someone with counterspell should go with, in case he tries to escape.
Granny will
In
raise
that
her hand.
I
case,
think I'll stay behind and see if we can find those notes.
all right. Somebody have something you can use as a gag.
I
Oh,
mean, I've
please,
got
you don't have
clothes.
to gag me.
You're a spellcaster, of course I do. I know what verbal components are. I'm also going to blindfold you.
Maybe he'll
That's a
break his
bit,
fingers.
No, that's
Well,
not
that
necessary.
actually-
The mana
That's a
cost
bit
should be
much.
enough.
You
If
know,
you want to be
there's-
extremely safe, I can cut out his tongue, but that would be kind of, you know,
How would you learn anything
Constructive.
if you cut out my tongue?
exactly.
True. We do
Exactly.
kinda
We can
need
torture you in other
lives.
ways.
You know,
Listen, representative
Tiberius.
of the Bear King.
all those
Or whatever.
horror stories that, your fellows from where you're from spoke of the Mythosians, they were all true. These guys are psychopaths.
Sounds like it.
Well, he hasn't revealed to us who or what he is exactly. Except for somebody who's looking for the Green Rider. And that could be friend or foe.
I assure you, I am very not a friend of the Green Rider. I want him gone
Why would you phrase it like that?
as much as you people want him gone.
I'm not a friend, dramatic pause, of the Green Rider. Come
He's so
on!
based. He's so based.
I'm not a friend of that guy. Why would I be? I hate him. He's the worst, right?
I thought you said you wanted to spread his story far. More people should know of him.
Well, at that point in our, let's say, interrogation, I don't think anything I told you was the full truth.
No. I can,
Ah,
I don't
you're-
think anything
agree
has
on that.
been.
You're speaking openly now, of course.
Yes. Now,
It's lie after lie after
what do
lie.
you people know
Jeez.
about the Green Rider?
That's none of your business.
Well, because I can fill in the gaps.
I doubt it.
How is he related to the Fae? How about we start with that?
Well, for the Green Rider is one of the oldest things that I know of. It's an archfey.
Oh, he is an Archfey. What is
I mean,
it?
just never
Why
heard
Is
of
the
he
him.
Green
here?
Rider even his correct name?
It is not. You know him as the Green Rider. But for
What do
me,
you know him as?
and for many others, he is the Rageful Jester.
Rageful Jester.
Write that down, write that down, write that down.
Does Granny recognize that name?
Why is he?
You kind of recognize the Rageful Jester. So the story that you know is that sometimes when Scalatha, the very few times when she gave you enough attention to drift you off to sleep, one story she would tell you was of the Rageful Jester poking the bog dwellers, leading to his internal hunting and then eventually his imprisonment.
I'm kind of not going to relay anything.
Based.
No, Granny, I share the lore. I want lore.
What is an archfey doing on the material plane?
Yeah, why isn't he in the Feywild? And why are you looking for him? What did he do over there? The Bear King
Well,
seems
he
to be
was
looking
supposed
for him.
to
What
stay
for?
in the Feywild. He was supposed to be imprisoned.
Imprisoned by whom?
Well, by all the other Archfey.
And how did he escape?
Well, even I don't know that.
So
And I
it
don't
makes you
reckon
think
any
that.
of the other Archfey know either.
So it makes you think that we're even capable of, if all the other Archfey can't keep this man in Athalora, and what makes you think that either one of us can somehow bring him back?
I don't think he said that.
Well, he said he wanted to apprehend him for the Bear King. Is that correct?
You wanted to give his location.
Well, not specifically for the Bear King. He has escaped. As you may know, sometimes Archfey aren't the most, let's say, perceptive people. They don't really pay attention to the whole of their realms all the time. Things can catch their eye. And one way or another, he escaped.
He's so charming. He's a bard.
And you intend to capture him for the Bear King?
I intend to find him and relay his information to the Bear King, so that others more powerful than you or I can send him back to the Feywild.
And you know,
I still think we should inform the head of judges.
I think this is a nightmare if we do.
Why?
How so?
Because when we're powerless here.
Which is why we follow the protocol.
I assume there's no point in having in manacles. You can just escape it well, right?
Well, I could attempt to escape it. Well,
Be honest.
You have stopped me once. I assume you have other things to stop me again.
I'm just wondering. You seem to know a lot. You seem to know very powerful people, which makes me think you might be a little bit more powerful than it seems. Than you might want us to think.
Cooperation. It's a bit too early for cooperation here.
It's not about cooperation. It's about self-preservation.
Okay, well, it's a bit too early for self-preservation.
It's never too early for self-preservation. I don't think we should keep our dying once a week quota up. I think it's unhealthy.
I think if we were
Keeping him
able to
alive will
transport
increase our
him,
odds.
I think
if we were
keeping
to
the
send this,
manacles will decrease odds of living. And I
Well,
don't think. Let me ask you, Tiberius. If we wanted to inform the Master of Judges of you or bring you in for further questioning in, let's say, Nasius, would you cooperate with that?
I don't fully know how the Master of Judges works. But if they're any bit more, I don't know, persuasive as you all, razor to the throat, manacles, I'd rather not go through this again.
Well, I can tell you that, by all means, the Master of Judges and, for that matter, our whole procedure might just bore you to death. It would certainly waste a lot of your time.
Yes, and the more time wasted, the more time the Green Rider gets to roam around freely, doing whatever he wishes.
I think we're starting to see eye to eye. I'll
I
sigh.
hope so.
Alright then. No funny business. And I'll step behind him and release his manacles.
Wait. What do the rest of us think of this?
Granny will
I
just
think
sign it.
if
You
we
always
report him to
counterspell
the head
again.
of judges, and
What's counterspell?
I'm gonna take. I don't know. I think that I don't trust him, obviously, but he might be able to help us.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And the more, the nicer we are to him, the more nice he might be to us. Just
Do this in front of him.
Yeah, you're all in the same room.
yeah, I'm sitting in front of him.
Granny will sign. We don't really have any other leads, so I don't mind.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
we
fair.
do. Our lead is in this cabinet right here, I think.
How long did you know Archmage Anticia?
Have never really known her. Only recently found out of her existence.
Do you know what happened to her?
No. I know she's gone missing, and that's why I came here.
Where'd you get this information?
Well, when you go around the circles talking about the Green Knight, her name
Knight?
pops up Or the Green Rider, should I say? I don't know why I said knight. Her name pops up more than others, and
What circles are you talking to where her name just pops up?
people talk about the Green Rider
Oh,
going around villages, making towns into mushroom zombies, transfiguring boys.
So you've been following us for how long?
Following you? No.
Our exploits, I guess.
I've heard small bits here and there, but nothing specifically denoting any of you.
So we've been on this trail, you've been on this trail, but we only just crossed paths, so it's kind of odd, don't you think?
Why, yes, that is quite odd.
Maybe.
Have you ever seen the Green Rider?
Yes, it was as he was escaping.
As he was escaping?
Yeah, the Feywild.
So you're at home in the Feywild then?
Yes, on the moon.
On the what?
The moon?
Did you say you live on the moon?
Concept like that exists in Belarus.
There's a moon, yeah. Night sky moon. There's two of them.
Yeah, I just didn't know that the moon is related to the Feywild.
Oh shit!
You've never
Belarus
heard
has
that
two
before.
moons?
You've never heard that shit in your entire life. You don't know what this guy's smoking.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
guy
What the
is-
fuck is he?
I don't know how we can trust this guy.
I know how.
I mean, like,
Let's
he
make
has
him
to
give us his full name.
It doesn't matter if you give him the full name. This guy's
His
like
full
hundreds
name
of
is
years old.
probably like it's probably, I don't know, man. It's some kind of weird face shit. That's my guess.
Yeah, and if
Yeah,
we have his
I
full
don't
name,
think he's-
then yeah, we could do face shit. I think. I don't know. Permeus
I don't know
isn't
how
that-
it works. Granny
I
is
don't
the
think
only
it's-
one, and she's like, she's
this
trying
is so
not to
good.
do too much.
You and your characters know like the exact same amount of information. It's so good. Which is nothing. Oh man.
This is like witch hunting. It was like, I got it. We'll throw him in the river, and if he
Yes.
sinks, he's a witch.
Exactly.
Yes.
What is the imperial mandate on working with Fae?
Uncharted territory.
This is why
Okay.
I say we should.
But we also did just like try to get a guy killed for witchcraft for working with Fae.
That was not for working with Fae. That was for worshiping a Fae as a god.
And that was
Oh,
also
that's
to
true.
bring the Fey realm to our realm.
Yeah. That is a way higher crime than being a human. Like, you don't even know this is a Fae, as far as you can tell.
I don't think he's human,
Well, that's fair, but...
but I can't push
Yeah, no.
on it. I mean, like, I've pushed pretty hard and I've got my conclusion. So
Fair enough.
Yeah, this guy doesn't want to talk about it.
We could always send him to Kato.
from the
Or talk to-
Boglands,
very
man,
slippery.
you know, the Boglands.
Granny's
Kato.
gonna Granny's gonna walk up and poke his face.
Oh. Oh my.
Hello. That
Just
would have been
gonna
much
pinch his
easier when
cheek.
I was in manacles.
You say you touch his cheek?
Pinch his cheek.
Oh, pinch his cheek. He's very real. That hurts. For him, not you.
Oh,
He'll just step back away then.
You little clothing.
What were you checking?
It's pulse.
He'll sign, shrug. He seems real enough.
But he's
What?
working with the Bear King. Can we trust someone like that?
Yeah, Granny, that's your area of expertise.
She'll sign. I mean, we just fought his guardian, so I don't know how much you guys want to trust the Bear King.
Well, we did kill his guardian, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Think a whole lot.
Yeah, we did kill the Bear King's guardian. Is that a problem for you, Tiberius?
Not really. Like, I'm working not specifically for the Bear King. Like, he is my main person I
Well,
commune
he's
with
given
in the
you these
Feywild.
items. I'm assuming.
Well, given if they cursed, then
Yeah,
there might
I
be more.
traveled through the Feywild. I met multiple archfays before finding out that the Green Rider had escaped. I would say I'm doing this for the good of both the Bogland and the Feywild.
What the hell the Bogland?
Is that what you, Faye, call the material plane, the Bogland?
Well, just what I've known this place as for, I guess, as long as I can remember. I've never known it as anything else.
Odd. Okay, gang, we need to make a call here.
Yeah, I mean, you put us in quite a spot, Tangy. I'm sorry, man.
Are you gonna kill him, Prometheus?
No,
No.
I don't want to.
I'm not even sure we're
Out of
capable.
character, I really don't want to.
This
I
is what
think
we
He's
call
been
stuck
itching-
between
he's
a
been
Blake and a
itching to kill a
tangy
party
place.
member for weeks
True.
now. He's been
Yeah.
All that
Come on.
pent up Zednius rage can finally be released.
Just
Finally, I
a
can
fucking
murder.
board just to be like, yes! And fucking...
Murder!
New tenant drop for Oath of Conquest. Have to kill at least one party member a session.
Oh God. So let's
Dude. That's why you need to have those diamonds.
True.
I'm begging you, give me a reason not to.
Well, so far, literally no one except for you wants to even kill him, so there's plenty
Yeah,
of reasons
I
not
think
to.
I-
I don't know what. I'm not gonna stop Prometheus if he does. I don't
Yeah.
know what to do with this guy.
I don't think we kill him.
Stop him.
Okay. Okay, Zednius.
But this is why I'm like asking you guys,
Sadness?
like, please, let's talk to Kato, because it's like... Like, I
This is
feel
not
like...
a territory for Kato, let's be real.
Oh yeah, we already know what Kato's gonna say, you're right.
What? How do you know what Gato's gonna say?
Follow the protocols, which there aren't any.
Well, then he probably wouldn't tell you that. What the fuck do you mean? Kato's not like a robot. That's funny. Follow the protocols, but there aren't any.
I mean-
Daniel will sign. Let's just look for the notes for now. We can decide after. If we don't find anything useful, then he's our next best bet.
Zednius, can I talk to you for a second?
Sure.
Okay. Well, Corvus and
No.
Zenius can head out to the hall to have a little aside. Grania, you can search for the notes, and Permeus, do you want to keep an eye on Tiberius since he's unmanacled?
I'm gonna tell before. I'm gonna say be careful about that locked drawer. It's
Oh yeah, it
It
was
might be
magical
trapped.
with abjuration magic.
yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna... I guess I'm gonna hold action if he does anything sneaky, like stab the shit out of
Okay,
him.
well you have to define what sneaky means now because
I
does sneaky
can I
mean?
keep. Can we keep Tiberius in eye shot without him being close enough to hear whisper?
yes.
Because all of a sudden,
Yes.
like I also don't trust Grania to counterspell his next escape.
Yeah, you can do that. You can be in the hall and like
Okay.
on the side of the hallway where you can still see into the room.
I
Okay.
didn't say I wanted to escape. I said
And
he
by
might be
sneaky
useful
shit,
to
I mean like
us.
casting a spell.
No,
So if he
I
casts
it's-
any spell you want to stab
I
him.
just don't know how Grania feels on this situation, so I want to make sure that I could counterspell if I need. to.
Alrighty, everyone's spread out. Now I want to go to Tangy. So, Tangy,
Uh-oh.
there's these 4 judges. You don't really know what a judge is, to be honest. They kept saying that over and over again, but that doesn't mean much to you. Unless,
Yeah.
basically, your out of character knowledge is the same as in character. So whatever you know, I think that, Tiberius would have picked up. So whatever you know. So not too much. And now there's this one guy standing next to you. He has this very, he's an angry looking fella, furrowed brow, scars on his face, wearing leather.
Glowing eyes.
The glowing eyes too. Yeah, he's just a very concerning looking individual. Do you try to strike up any convo while he, has a sword to you, or are you just going to stay quiet and wait for the nicer people to wrap up what they're doing?
He's gonna put his arms forward. If you wish to put the manacles back on, you can. I'm not dangerous.
I'm just not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna fully just.
Alrighty.
Here.
Well, we'll cut back to Garania. So you searched the desk, just the top of it, which is not very much searching. It's just ordering the pages and seeing what they say. Firstly, there are 3 unfinished scrolls. Those being a scroll unfinished, to be clear. Scroll of Shield, Scroll of Fireball, and the last scroll is like so unfinished that you have no idea what it was even supposed to be. Additionally, you find scattered fragments of notes scattered across like the writing lectern, and it's a little bit long, but I think it's worth going through this. These are individual notes, so I'll just pause after each of them. Conjunction of the astronomical phenomenon with major events. Contour, tilt, axial rotation, telescopic fragmentation. Shout aloud in ecstasy, true is the Almighty, Atlian shout. I can't help but wonder if there's a connection between the events which befell the Empire in the year 1276. If the enumerologists were be believed, after the fact, such things were inevitable. By the portents of nearly every system, it was a cursed year. Yet prior to this year, such predictions were unheard of. These same individuals have stated that each subsequent year has been cursed. Ad hoc rationalization. Still, one must marvel at the calamity. Plague, war, death. It has the makings of a revelitic vision of the apocalyptic end of things. For those living in Transatlia and Regia Nova, it would be fair to call it the apocalypse. Green cloak, wiry beard, curly hair, green eyes, fiddle, bow, magic, strange accent. Athaloran, Cred Galador. Athaloran has been circled. Does not seem to have a particular fascination with the undead. No entropic distortion reported. When compared to the Colonne Tempestus incident, there is no similarity. Those are the notes. There's not a reference. It's relevant to the plot. I mean, it is a reference, but...
Huh. It's on the other side of the world.
Yeah, it is, but I also
Yeah,
don't
just
include
stack
random
them
throwaway
together.
references. It's plot relevant.
Just stack them together and hand them to another party and just shrug.
Who? Zednius and Corvus are out in the hallway.
Then Premius.
Okay. Then we'll cut out to the hallway to Corvus and Zednius whispering.
I think this guy is way more powerful than we're giving him credit for. If he works directly with or for the Bear King and played at his court and seems to know quite a bit about the Fair Realm and about our target, I think he's a plane traveler at least, which, as you know, is a 7th level spell.
He's a what?
Plane traveler. This man is. I think if we wanted to kill him, we couldn't. I think he's too slippery, and if he wanted to, he could probably kill us or worse. I think we should just follow along with his play, like try to learn as much as we can from his from the information he's willing to give us. And at the end, if he wants to call in some powerful fae to help us with our target, we can use that. And then we can tell Kato all about our target being fae related. But for now, I think it's best to navigate this. We're so to speak, we're in
think
their
you're-
realm, not the other way around.
Maybe I'm being naive. I don't. With the 4 of us combined, I think we could take on this one man who has no magic items anymore, besides his earring and boots.
Yes,
But
which God knows what those do.
what school of magic were those, Harkin?
Abjuration, standard enchantment magic.
Okay. Some sort of abjuration magic. And he made it seem like they were cursed. He couldn't remove them, and even when I dispelled the magic, I couldn't remove them. But, oh crap, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh no.
Badge.
Let's see what he knows. Or let's keep him around, I guess.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to be willing to come in for questioning.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to dismiss Hegal, and I'm going to ask Permeus to Divine Sense.
Okay. You head back into the
Alright.
room. So just to be clear, at this
Yeah,
point,
that's a good
Grania
idea.
has handed the scattered fragments of notes to Primius. And you're all back in the room with Tiberius now.
Yeah, I will-
Primius. I think that he might be not human. Could you do a divine sense to confirm if he's Fey or not?
I'll nod and hit him with
I hear
the-
that. I'm gonna tell Flutter
Yeah.
to dispel himself.
Yeah.
Not to cause another.
I mean, it's a good thing he
meltdown.
mentioned that, because there would have been a Fae within 60 feet, for sure. Yeah, so you unsummon both of your familiars. Primius, you do Divine Sense. There are no Fae, Fiend, or Undead within 60 feet.
He's mortal.
Hmm.
Unless that abjuration magic
Unless the
is...
abjuration magic can protect it, that's true.
Dude, you guys are. You're so deep down the rabbit hole.
Well, of course we are. This guy's giga suspicious.
He is, yeah.
Average Alex campaign where if we're not super suspicious, we just die.
True.
Exactly. It's like we're playing
Oh my
with
God.
lines
Either
here.
schizo or we die. It's like
No,
Broken
like there
bones
was
and body
in
all
our
over
finale
again.
of the other campaign, I got betrayed like 3 times in a row. I was, oh my god, it was so bad.
The PTSD setting in
I'm
right now.
so
and now there's the
traumatized.
audacity to be
What
like,
the
"Why
fuck
you
have
guys
you
so
done to
schizo?
him,
No,
Archon?
you guys are so weird right now."
Harkon, you traumatize people and they pay you for it.
The triple betrayal.
Dude, see, the real
actually
shit is that
intense.
wait until you see the betrayal coming in this campaign. You're not ready for it.
Oh god, I'm not. I'm so not.
There's,
Well, I
so-
mean, none of us
It's
are
such
even
a
on the
deep
same
betrayal that
side,
even
right?
I'm not ready for it.
there's no betrayal. He's gaslighting us.
The betrayal is going to be one
That
of
is the
us
gas-
for
yeah, the betrayal is
betraying
that
the other
Harkon is
3 to do
Betrayal is
whatever
Alex
their
studying abroad.
goal is.
Yeah, the betrayal is
Yeah,
that
and
there is no
ending the
betrayal.
campaign on a cliffhanger.
That's the betrayal.
That's the worst. That is
Okay.
fate worse than
So,
death.
Well, 3 of us are EU time zone now. So,
so
I mean,
true. Anyways, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
So he's not Fey, we think, unless the earring protects it.
Fuck, at that point, just call him a demon. Might as well. I mean, we have no idea.
Yeah. He's an aberration demon.
So
Fae, he's
true.
everything.
He's undead
It's
as
like
well.
in Hearthstone, that card that's like everything.
Yeah.
He's out here casting elven magic, ancient elven shit.
I mean,
All right. So we
Well, he
haven't looked
did
in the
confirm
cabinet
the-
yet.
he did confirm he put up the mist wall, which
He did not. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, the mist wall through the door.
He
Yeah,
did.
I
Not
thought you meant the
through
mist wall surrounding
Primarch.
Valoros. I was like, no, he didn't say
Oh.
the wall
He's
of
that
mist in the
powerful?
door.
Yeah, he could definitely.
Wait,
you're right,
wait
Cobra.
a second.
Anyways,
Harkon, what did you just... What did he
Anyways.
just do? You just snitched
anyways,
on him.
anyways.
Is this dude an elf?
Does he look like an elf?
There's no way he's an elf. There's no elves.
True, there is no elves.
Can I see your teeth? Can I see your pearly whites, please?
Smile.
If
Sure.
Harkin put an elf in this campaign after Peach left, that would be something.
Yeah, Tiberius gives you guys a
Okay.
big smile. Pearly white, beautiful teeth, which is honestly a red flag in its own right because no one has nice teeth, but he does. His teeth are immaculate.
I'm gonna wave my hand above his head. Is he fake tall?
No,
Okay. Well, if he was an elf, he'd be way taller, right?
true. He'd also look like an alien.
Yeah, but like a magic disguise.
Well, you already checked to see if he had magic on me, you didn't? So
Yeah, but
Granite did pinch it.
now I'm thinking he has protection against it with his earring.
okay. Well, Grania pinched his face, and that seemed real too.
He's got magic boots that make him 2 feet shorter. That's what it is. It's gotta be.
It's gotta be.
He's got boots to make him shorter and fucking an earring to make his ears not pointy.
Wait, oh my god, you're right. It's all coming together.
He's an elf for
You know,
sure.
we
but...
need to stop schizoing, okay?
No, I don't think an elf would be like
Holy shit.
submissive to a bear king, right?
This
There's
where-
no way.
Dude, holy
Guys-
shit.
He'd be
Guys,
way
I
too
think we lost-
prideful.
I think we
how
lost
much
the
do you know
fucking
about
plot.
the Bear King?
You lost your
We lost
fucking
the
minds.
plot.
Can we move on,
Yeah.
please?
We're actually into range though now.
Oh my god.
Archon's losing it.
Okay, anyways. There's still that drawer, man. That locked drawer, or we can ask more questions of Tiberius.
Yeah. How tall are you?
Okay, these questions are getting insane.
I'm joking.
Okay. What now?
I'm gonna,
One thing left in the room.
dispel the magic on the lock.
Okay. You watch as 3 separate spells are dispelled.
All right. None of us are roguelike, so I guess I'm just gonna see if I can check for a physical trap.
Sure. Do a sleight of hand check.
Sleight of hand. Okay.
Well, actually, you don't know if any of you are roguelike. You haven't asked what Tiberius is.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna
Well,
trust him.
Oh, okay. Well,
Also, he seems to be a bard.
yeah, his name does
All
say
right.
that.
It's definitely not trapped. It was just magic. She
Correct,
wouldn't
yeah.
know
Yeah,
physical traps.
yeah, 100%.
So I'm gonna
Big
just
J.
open it up.
Yeah, you open it. Make a... No, you're fine. So inside of the drawer is a vial labeled Ink of Forgetting. Then there are 17 vials of arcane ink. There's a quill with a white feather, a scroll of alarm, 2 scrolls of glyph of warding, and the following notes. And these are pretty long, but I think they're relevant, so we're going to read them, even though they're a bit on the longer side. Thoughts on corruption. I apologize for the length of this document. To quote the imperial poet Lucullus, I apologize for such a long letter. I didn't have time to write a short one. The origin of these notes stem from a conversation I had with a rather lost fae during my investigation to what I believe to be an invading fae from the plane of existence known to imperial research as Athel Loren. My research has led even this name to be questioned, but I will get to that in later documents. The fae that I spoke to identified itself as a Yakshash in the common tongue, though the locals called it a fiend, and I understand why. It was grotesquely fat and possessed horns on its heads, resembling the demonified depictions of the elves within Palinalian motifs. It was, however, intelligent, and as I explained that it could not inhabit an imperial village, it explained what it fled. It described this force, or entity, as corruption. When I pushed for details, it provided me with the following anecdote, which I have done my best to recall word for word. The mother of Ard is no god, and yet she had a near supreme ability over her realm. The corruption weakened this. It made things not function. Time was no longer within her mastery. The twisting of the forest and the whispering of the trees was outside of her reach. She could not guarantee the safety of others, much less herself. Nor is it just the mother of Ard. Others, such as the Verdant King or the Lord of Fur, each have found their domains weakened and failing in the wake of this invasive influence. We can do little to stop this ourselves. This is the main of you all, for it was you who stopped it in the Pact of Bronze. Unfortunately, the anecdote was forced to end there, since the Yakshash attempted to flee from the basement I was interrogating it in. I immolated it, and conducted a post-mortis interrogation, utilized and authorized casting of the necromancy spell, Speak with Dead. This yielded no results. I have scoured the libraries of Marsonia, Palama, Patricia, and now Lubel for any mention of a Pact of Bronze, Mother of Ard, Verdant King, or Lord of Fur. The only one that I have a lead on is the Lord of Fur, which I believe to be an entity of Athel Loren named the Bear King. At the moment, this brings me no closer to discovering what the corruption is. Thus, I hope that with this prerequisite knowledge, you, my colleagues of arcane knowledge, can assist in uncovering what this may be. If we, humanity I believe, stopped this once, perhaps we can stop it again, or perhaps it need not be stopped. Perhaps this is a weapon to be wielded in the war against wilderness that we have waged since the time of our forefathers. Either way, this is far beyond the interest of a single arcanist, thus I hope this will yield, and then it was never finished. The second document is much shorter. Green Rider Profile. Below is what I have compiled over the course of nearly 3 months of investigation. I asked
that you forgive the briefness of the statements, as uncovering any information on this enigmatic figure has proven exceedingly difficult. Target is immune to standard divination and other messages of determining who they are. An extensive investigation of magical spellcasting sites reveals a hidden layer of arcane behind the topmost layer, leads me to suspect an extraplanar origin. Spellcaster capable of casting spells of the Ninth Circle with modifications I haven't seen before. I hold out hope these are temporary bursts of magic only possible due to an item. Many of my leads have come from otherwise mundane judge requests, only to find that the Green Rider was involved somehow. Therefore, I endeavor to venture to Ostatic to see if I can uncover more there. The reason for my destination is that the city is a known locus for extraplanar creatures, at least according to locals of the plains. If this does not work, I may make my way to the Plainstones, burial mounds, or other culturally relevant sites. And that is all that is contained within the drawer.
Is there any clothing of her here?
No. Oh, sorry. In the closet there is. There's
I'm gonna look towards Corvus and ask, is this enough to scry on her?
Yes. So, is a hairbrush here somewhere?
no.
Well,
Maybe check her bed.
for what? Hair?
Sometimes
guess.
hair follicles fall off in your sleep.
Did anyone grab that vial of ink?
No one's grabbed anything
So
from the
the-
desk.
Yoink.
Okay.
Wait.
Which one? The ink of forgetting?
Yep.
Okay.
All of those
Stop.
will be in possession of the Department of Magic.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Bing!
Just holding on to it.
Okay. then
Yeah.
I'll hold on to all of
the
it.
rest. Sadly, I still do not trust you fully.
I didn't hear what you said. Are you?
I
trying
do
to
not
kill me
trust you
again?
fully. So for that, you will not be holding on to those.
Everybody okay with me taking the vials of arcane ink? I'm the only
No.
one who can actually use those.
No,
They're-
because
they're not actually magic.
The Department of Magic.
They're not magic. Arcane ink isn't magical. It's just ink we use to scribe in our spell books.
This is fair. But just in case, I don't think we should be splitting her stuff if we don't even know if she's alive or not.
Room?
So
for
should
now-
we scry on her?
Let's scry on her.
First I'm gonna search the room for like bed, anything that where I can find like fallen out hair or something first.
Yeah, the bed is nicely made. So searching like the main part of the bed does not yield, but searching the headboard will reveal a long brown hair.
That will do. What's her full name?
You do not know, I don't believe.
Okay, well, Arcanist and Tissia should be enough. That's my last of the spell slot for now. Yeah, I will be casting Scrying using the hair on Arcanist, not Archmage, and Tissia.
Okay. The connection tries to form. However, it is stretched too far and it snaps, meaning they are on a different plane of existence than you.
Okay. She's not
So
in the
she's
material
not
plane
dead.
anymore.
Wait,
Likely
if they're
not.
dead, would that also do that?
Well, yeah, it would still scry their corpse.
It would spread their. Okay, I didn't know if it was like, oh, they're dead, so they're they're in a different realm. Because they're dead.
I see what you're saying. No. It would not scry on the soul. It scries on the body.
Gotcha. So she could be dead in another realm.
Wait, so you
but
can
she
scry on
wants to
objects with scrying now?
Well, no. It's a particular creature.
Yeah, but if they're dead, if they're corpse, they're no longer a creature.
Is that how that works?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
You can't scry on corpses, even if you have like all the components?
As far as I'm aware, corpses are, for all intents and purposes, objects in
Interesting.
D&D rules.
Scrying on a dead corpse. In the case of my...
Since a dead body is an object.
You're right, it is a dead object. It still goes through the way I said it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that is interesting for the future. But yeah, if someone was dead and you scryed on them, you would not be like scrying into the realm of souls. That you would just,
Gotcha.
yeah, they'd be dead. But yeah, she's on another plane of existence.
That makes it sound like we need to go towards that ruin.
Does seem that way, doesn't it?
Wait,
You
first.
still need
What do
to-
you know of the ruin, Tiberius? Although we
Holy
haven't read it out loud to him. So
What do you know? What do you know?
What ruin?
So aggressive.
I'll be honest, I don't know many of the places in the Boglands.
right.
Easterfear.
Okay.
I think
Do you
we've
know anything of the
expended
place
its use.
east? What?
A
No.
portal. A portal from the
Oh yeah, do you know
Lauren
where
that opens up?
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you know the nearest portal to or from Athaloran? Tiberius?
The nearest portal.
Or gateway or whatever.
No, I mean when the Green Rider escaped from Athaloran, I just followed his trail.
So how do you get into the Boglands then? From Athaloran?
I think it was a portal that the Green Rider put down to get here in the first place.
Oh.
And I
And
just
where'd the
followed him
portal
in.
like where'd the portal end, I guess.
Can't really remember. I've just been really walking about the last few months, not knowing where I
Here's a question.
was.
If we were on the road and the Green Rider appeared, would you be able to help us against him?
If I was able to get to him, I would be able to call down the Bear King's power to get rid of him.
I look towards Primius and I'm like, that sounds like something would have been handy earlier on our way here.
Yeah, we did have a quick encounter with him.
And you survived.
He let us
Fascinating.
live. He paralyzed most of us and then said that this is interesting and left.
I was
So
just
now
like
he
him.
seems to be okay with us living for now.
He
Do
doesn't.
you know his current whereabouts?
No, I don't. That's why I came here to find the notes.
Yeah, fair. I was just, you know.
He doesn't seem to do things just because, or just for the reason to kill things. He likes playing with his food.
That seems to be true. Yeah.
Well, what now?
I think the revelation that he could do some sort of weird Bear King nuke on the Green Rider makes him valuable enough that I don't want Primius to kill him now. And I think we need to go towards that that place that she said she was going to be.
Oh, static.
Yeah, which we have a problem getting there. If you remember, there was Huber's detachment was just east of the river, which we'd need to cross to get to a static.
Could you get us? I bet I'm looking at Tiberius. And I'm like, I feel like he knows a way to get past that.
Yeah, he probably does, honestly.
To get past what? I don't understand what you're talking about. This detachment.
There's
It's
a standing
it's about
army.
It's a 600. It's an army with about 600 riders.
They would kill us if they saw us.
Yes, and we don't have the capability of killing them all.
That does seem like a huge problem.
Yes, which is why
600
we're
riders
asking.
is quite a lot. I don't think I'd be able to.
You couldn't sneak us across or teleport us or something like that.
Or
Make
kill
us
them all.
blend right in. Yeah,
Be
just
down.
drop the Bear King nuke on them, actually.
Yeah, how many of those can you drop?
I might be able to sneak us across.
Hmm.
As you see, I could. Well, when you came in, I was invisible. I might be able to do the same to you all. You might be able to sneak past.
How so? What sort of magic?
Well, turning all of us invisible, obviously.
That worked well last time.
Well, I don't think we're
No
expecting
into
any of
jokes, I
them to
see.
be. Oh. No, sorry. You were kind of tense earlier. I wasn't sure you were joking.
Well, not convincing anyone that his head belongs on a stake now, so might as well relax, enjoy the moment.
Yes. His head might be more useful on his shoulders.
That's what I said.
Okay. Just making sure we're on the same. Page. Alright. Tiberius, your instruments, if I return them to you, you're gonna run away?
Well, you seem to have the only information leading to the Green Rider. I don't know why I'd attempt to leave without that information.
I look over to Zednius.
I'm gonna shake my head.
I'm distinctly looking over to Zednius, not Premius.
What do I need
Obviously,
to
Premius
answer?
wants to kill this guy. I'm basically asking for your permission to give him back his items.
Oh, I thought you meant like
The,
tell him about the Green Rider. I didn't.
I mean, he already knows. It doesn't really matter.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that is also true.
Tiberius, do you mind if I study one of these flutes? It's got very interesting magic. I'll give it back, of course, after I'm done studying it.
How long would it take you to study it? I'll give it just like a
Couple weeks,
night
maybe a long rest.
Couple weeks?
Um,
What? I can study it within 10 minutes. If you're interest in finding out what it does.
I'm more so. I mean, wouldn't Identify give me everything I want out of it, Harkin?
With the exception of some absurdly powerful magical items, Identify typically identifies all the properties of an item, including curses. Typically.
Okay, yeah. Identify both the flutes then for me, if you would, Corvus. Then I don't need to keep them at all.
Okay. If you're okay with that, Tiberius?
That is fine by me.
Okay.
Should you identify all his magic items? The earring and the boots?
I'm not sure that would work, but I can try.
I mean, it doesn't cost anything, right? It's a ritual.
Yeah, this costs time, and well, I'm gonna have to be touching your earring and your boots, so you're gonna have to hold still. It's gonna be kind of awkward. Try not to make
I'm
eye
sure it's less
contact.
awkward than having a razor blade at my throat.
I apologize. I'm used to dealing with very hostile people.
I
Okay.
can understand. I've dealt with hostile people before.
So you identify the earring. The earring says that while the bonded creature wears this earring, they gain the ability to cast the spell Gaius once per long rest.
Oh God. That's terrifying.
That's the earring.
Which one does that? One of the flutes?
No, that's the earring.
No, that's the earring that we can't get off of him.
Oh,
You know?
that we can't take off. Oh.
Yeah, it has insanely powerful mind control magic. Yep.
Yep. The boots, while worn by the bonded creature, grant them the ability to cast Misty Step once per short rest and Far Step once per long rest.
Is Fast Step the one that Granny uses to zip you around?
Indeed. The flute, when you attempt to identify it, gives you back noise. It is, not easy. Yeah, you just can't tell what it actually does. And then the flute, same thing. You have no idea what it does. If it even has properties to begin with.
I'd like to keep the flute overnight then.
Well,
I'll give
Tangy,
back.
it is a small note, but those two instruments are your two most best instruments. You have expertise in both of them.
Just one.
If it's just overnight, then I guess you could borrow them.
Okay.
I would need them if anything.
Right. Yeah, I
Dangerous
wouldn't.
was about to happen.
I wouldn't try to cripple you in a dangerous situation.
Thank you.
Wait, these notes, the scattered fragments or whatever, they were off of Tiberius, right?
No, they were on the desk of the
No.
lady.
They were on her desk, but not.
Oh, I thought
locked
they
away.
were in the map scroll case he had.
Nope, that's just a map of Tabrash.
That was a map. What
Oh, I
would,
thought
did
that
it
was-
point on
that should-
something? Did it have a mark somewhere?
No, it's just to help him get his bearings. He has no fucking idea
Yeah,
where
does
he
he have
is.
a compass?
Nope. He's an instrument-pilled bard cell.
Done.
Well, at least that's some healing off my chest.
Does he have healing?
I assume a bard would take a healing spell.
Hmm.
Did you, Tangy?
I don't know about that one.
I think they get healing word at best, and they often don't take it.
It's a good for a yo-yo though. Healing word's pretty goated.
Yeah, I know it's.
I
amazing, but-
I could heal if needed.
Yeah. Right. Do you have a way of getting out of here, Tiberius? Without being seen? Because I don't think these were seen coming in, and if we leave now, the owner of this house might be slightly confused whether we enter with and enter as 4 and leave as 5.
I could go invisible again and follow you around. I could hold one of your hands whilst I'm invisible, so you can make sure that I'm still with you.
That'll work. I guess.
I could look outside the window and Misty step out.
It's for you to decide.
I will go invisible and make sure that one of you can feel my touch. Without holding your arm, shoulder, anything like that.
I mean, you could still see and just follow us from behind, right?
Well, I'm sure you all would rather me not just leave.
Oh, good point.
When your prisoner's helping you keep him prisoner. Holy the shit. Okay.
Holy the shit, indeed.
So, we're walking out of the house and Tiberius. Whose hand are you holding, Tiberius?
Um,
Who seems the friendliest?
Am I the
Corvus.
tallest now?
Corvus
Oh
was
my
pretty
god.
good.
At 6'1", yeah, I think so. Yeah,
6'3".
6'3", yeah.
Holy chudka.
Chadga.
I literally double in size when I put this ring on.
Yeah,
Like
Chadga,
I gain
Papa.
100. I'm 100 pounds and I go to 200 pounds when I put the ring on.
Chadga.
Beefcake Zenius.
Supersize him. Okay, so whose hand are you holding, Tiberius?
Corvus's.
Uwu.
Do you accept his hand? Corbus? Do you hold his soft hand?
Stop.
Do you?
Yes.
Okay. All right. You cast invisibility on yourself. You guys all head downstairs. The landlord will inquire, hope that everything went well, ask if you guys want anything before you leave. You kind of brush him off, and you exit.
Well.
Oh, yeah?
We could ask him, did she leave anything else with you?
No, that's
Any
all.
messages or whatever? Okay. Thank you.
And, he'll thank you all for your service to the Empire as you leave his home. And once you are outside, we are at our time, so we're going to end the session here this week. Sounds like next week we'll have to deal with Huba's riders sneaking past and or fighting them and or working with Lubel. Maybe they have a plan or something. And then we'll get to the ruins of Ostatic and start to figure out what these ruins are, what their deal is. Figure more about this Tiberius fellow. We know nothing about him, if that even is his real name. And
What do you
yeah.
mean if?
What if that is his real name? Wouldn't that be crazy?
I would
He's
be
just
very
normal guy.
surprised.
Yeah, he's just a normal guy who walked into the Fey realm by
Very
accident.
normal guy from the Fey realm.
300, yeah, he just
Smile.
stumbled into the woods 300 years ago, and now he's here. Who knows?
Yep.
But yeah, I think that's all we got this week. So we will see you next week, God willing, inshallah. And that's all I got. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.